talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van Range. Supporting van owners to get the job done. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
Good afternoon, I'm Toby Gillis. Two Young Boys fans have been arrested after violent scenes marred their game at Aston Villa last night. Donyell Marlon, scorer of both Villa's goals, was left bloodied by a flying cup, while police were targeted with various missiles, including ripped-out seats. talkSPORT's football correspondent Alex Crook.
Well, certainly there's a case for young boys being made to play games behind closed doors, because obviously that would hit the club in the pocket. It would stop those supporters from watching their team. These UEFA sanctions don't go far enough. So, yeah, I think there is a case for much harsher punishment when we see scenes like this.
Man United's planned new stadium, as well as Wrexham's redeveloped Stoke Kairaz and Birmingham's new ground, have been included in the whole of UK bid to host the Women's World Cup in 2035. Old Trafford, in its current guise, is on the 22 stadium list, while Chelsea could be added if a consultation into a new ground falls in that direction. talkSPORT understands the desire is for host stadiums to be in their best possible developed stages. Here's Serena Wiegman on the bid.
It's really exciting, because if you see what it's going to look like, it's going to be the biggest event worldwide ever, which is really exciting. And of course, what we also all experience, that the women's game is growing, and we want to keep pushing, keep going.
Eddie Howe admits he's got a dilemma over his keepers as he mulls dropping Nick Pope for Aaron Ramsdale. He says defenders get used to one keeper's style, so he doesn't believe in rotation in that position. If he makes the switch, it'll be for some time to come. No Pat Cummins or Josh Hazlewood again for Australia for the second Ashes test in Brisbane. It's an unchanged squad for the day-nighter.
talkSPORT News.
NHS advisors are expected to rule against a mass screening programme for prostate cancer in the UK, and jail for life for a robber who murdered a pensioner before stealing his cottage pie. More from the news team at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. For a limited time only, get 20% off a set of 4 premium tyres in our Black Friday event. Book today at quickfit.com and drive away happy every time. Conditions apply.
Showers moving southeastwards all day. Some will be thundery. Sunny skies in between, with the southeast of England generally staying dry. Fresher than yesterday with some wind.
This is Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs with you through until 4 here on talkSPORT, where this afternoon, just at 25 years, Andy is working out how to plug his headphones in.
He's only just given them to me, and
Yeah, we have started, by the way. Can you soldier on without them? Or, it's great, isn't it? But fantastic. 25 years, ladies and gentlemen. I can't carry on. I've done my bit. This is your bit.
I'm blaming the person who designed this studio.
Okay, fair enough. Right.
He knows who he is. Anyway, coming up over the next 3 hours, Stan Collymore looks ahead to the return of the Premier League.
Great, isn't it?
Stockport County's head chef talks us through his Christmas dinner in a cup. And the original Top Gear Stig, Perry McCarthy, looks ahead to a massive weekend of F1.
Yes, Stig's coming in. They wanted to call him the Gimp.
Really?
But he resisted.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, nor do I. He'll tell us more about that later. We'll also have more of Andy's nonsense by numbers.
Yeah.
TV's rugby-loving Nick Knowles joins us for a chat. And Tim Vickery, on a Friday, believe it or not, on one Sebastian Veron's Guard of Dishonour 6-month ban.
It's tremendous. It's like
what a story.
Poznan they did.
They did a proper Poznan on the opposition, yeah, and they came out the tunnel.
It's brilliant. There's all this. Should have done that to Liverpool last year. There's all this plus the clips of the week, the Falls panel, and Chiefs.
Only chefs.
turducken downer in Todd Macklin's American Sports Roundup.
Well, I think
that's a turkey within a duck.
I think that went quite smoothly. I don't know about you.
Tremendously
That
well,
intro,
actually. Yeah,
pretty smooth.
I'm happy with it.
Well, that's good. We'll mark that off then. We'll give that a tick at the start of the show.
Come on, the listeners would be shocked if it was smooth and neat. You know,
I think they'd be pleasantly surprised.
Rough and ready is how they like it.
Tim Krul's going to join us. I didn't give him a mention. Yeah, we'll talk about it. I mean, we're just hearing there from Toby telling us about Eddie Howe saying he doesn't like chopping and changing. If he's going to make a change, he'll make a change. So we'll see what Tim, former Newcastle keeper.
Got a new screen I can see here.
Yeah,
4 screens.
We've gone quad split.
We've gone quad box.
We have gone quad box.
I feel like I'm in red zone.
Let's tell you what we've got on our screens in front of us. We've got European football from last night.
Yeah.
We've got a bit of rally driving.
Marvellous.
We've got cross-country skiing.
Well, who doesn't love that?
And we've got Rob Edwards chatting about the weekend's games. So
what more could anybody want?
Well, we've got the whole of the Sports World covered. We've got loose women. Do you have a sex cardigan is the question.
I'm wearing it.
Yeah. Well, if that's your sex cardigan, wow.
That's
do
not
you?
good.
Who asked? No, come on, please.
What is a sex cardigan?
I've got
no
no idea. I mean, Ray, just let me ask you, Ray. Do you have a sex cardigan? Well, I don't know how I might have. Yeah, I've got most of my cardigans on.
I've got a V-neck.
Yeah. So, make of that what you will. Ridiculous. So that's just one of the questions they're asking on loose women this afternoon.
Marvellous. I had a bit of a strange incident on the train this morning.
You always do, didn't you? Say, I come in and I go home and nothing ever happens to me. What happened to you?
This was really quite embarrassing, actually.
Oh, no.
What I like to do on a Friday is listen to the birthday spread. I don't ever listen to anything that we do because I'm in it and that's it. But
yeah,
I do particularly. I enjoy the birthday spread. I suppose I shouldn't admit that.
Okay.
But anyway, I was listening. I like to listen to it on a Friday, and I'm listening to it and I'm laughing out loud.
Oh no!
Charlie
on the train.
Funny,
yeah.
And this bloke stops me and he says, "Excuse me." He said. What are you laughing at? It seems like it's really funny. I was standing going,
well,
myself. I said, it's something I do.
Oh, what a burp.
So bad.
Yeah, it's me. I'm laughing at myself. It's something I do.
What is it? He said. I said, try to explain what it was. I
mean, it's not
ridiculous.
You try to explain what the birthday spread is.
Well, not really.
So you're on a packed train and you're saying to the bloke, it's a waste of half an hour, a kid's game.
No, I said what it was, and then he said to me, that sounds like a waste of half an hour.
Oh, yeah, it sounds like a kid's game, yeah.
And in other news...
How arrogant would that have sounded, though?
I felt bad.
Because they were thinking, I bet this is good.
Yeah.
Oh, it's something I do. It's just a little number I do, me and my fellow actors.
I know, it was bad, wasn't it?
Yeah, great. Well done, Andy.
I know. There's only 10 episodes of Neighbours left. Only 10.
Ever.
We're down to the last 10 ever. And of course, I've been thinking,
is it going to be like the end of The Sopranos?
Yeah, well, I was thinking, how are they going to...
Are they going to have a kind of a bit of a cliffhanger? I mean,
I know what's happening. We know now. They've revealed it.
Would you like to leave Neighbours in the same way as we left, kind of not knowing? Maybe David Chase will write and direct the last episode.
I think you've got to leave it open.
Yeah.
Because Paul and Therese are getting remarried. So
who are these people?
These are Paul Robinson and
Stephen Dennis.
Dennis was in Come Dancing.
Has the leg grown back yet or not?
No, not really.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
He's still out for the season.
Yeah.
And bring it back to sport.
Yeah.
And they're getting remarried. So I thought, well, I know what's going to happen. Everyone's going to be out there married, and they're going to...
And
there's going to be a massive explosion. They're all going to get blown up.
Oh, no, that's no way to end.
No.
About 40 years.
Guess what they're going to do?
No. Don't ruin it for everybody.
No, we all know they revealed this week there's going to be an 8-lane freeway right through the middle of Ramsey Street. That's brilliant, isn't it?
So they're going to wipe it out?
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
I know.
In case you're wondering what's going on, Andy, when he was making fantasy football, he realised he needed half an hour a day to decompress, him and the producers at the time. Because dealing with David and Frank can be quite demanding, of course, with Skinner and Badil.
I know.
So Andy's way to start decompressing was to sit down and watch Neighbours with two of the production team. And you got hooked, didn't you?
I did. We got into it, and that was it. I've been hooked ever since.
And that's it. So then you've only got 10 left. And you're going to be bereft, aren't you?
I will be, really. But there you go. I tuned into Strasbourg. Bring it back to sport.
Yeah. I think we should, yeah.
I know, sorry. I tuned into Strasbourg versus Crystal Palace.
Chelsea B.
Well, they are Chelsea B, and I wanted to see some of the club bound players, including one of which the goalie. Oh my God!
Do stop it, Penders.
Do stop it, Penders. Did you see what he did?
He's supposed to be very good, isn't he? Then
it makes Manuel Neuer look like a stay-at-home keeper.
Oh, really?
He was like rushing out, and he was way out of position twice. Left his open goal twice. Their Palace hit the woodwork twice. Remember?
Oh wow, okay.
He did look a bit, not ready.
How did Chilwell look?
Not ready for prime. Yeah, good.
You do all right?
Omega looked good, the guy Chelsea assigned. He scored a nice goal.
Toby was just telling us that Chelsea's on the long list of grounds they're going to use for the 2035 Women's World Cup, should they get it. We've put the bid in today, haven't we, in the UK?
Think you're hoping they've got a new ground by then.
Well, I was going to ask you that because I read some stuff today that there was some talk of Earl's Court and redeveloping there. That's been knocked back, hasn't it?
It's the one I favour the most because it means...
But I think they've been told they can't do it.
Well, there's still... Kensington and Chelsea, there's two councils involved, Hammersmith and Fulham, Kensington and Chelsea, and I think they both have to approve. So we'll see what happens.
Otherwise, you might have to go to Wembley for a while.
One thing this area doesn't need is more posh flats. So, I'm not sure. I'm sure there'll be some affordable housing. But I think, to be honest, it would be better being a football stadium and all the work and
But you
jobs.
would say that, wouldn't you?
I would say that. Of course I would. And then they'd never have to move out of Stamford Bridge. They could do what Arsenal did and what Tottenham did. You stay in your stadium until it's ready, and Everton.
Well, we didn't do that. I mean, we went to Wembley.
Oh, no, you went to Wembley. I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
But Everton were able to stay at Goodison.
I mean, if you're going to stay on your same site, you've really got no choice. I mean, it's very, very difficult to...
No, they're going to have to play at Twickenham or Wembley or somewhere like that.
Yeah.
But at my time of life, though, you get, a bit depressed about the thought of a new stadium that will actually see it. Cause
they can bury you in the old one.
No, it can take about 5 years to build, won't it?
Anyway, we never found out whether anybody had a sex cardigan or not. That wasn't our question. That was loose women. I don't even know what one is, and I don't intend to find out. Tim Krul kicks us off to talk a bit of Newcastle and more. He's putting the gloves and the boots back on his Tim. He'll tell us why. Nick Knowles, TV's Nick Knowles. Your wife's a fan, isn't she, Andy?
She loves DIY SOS.
Yeah, that's right. And we'll be chatting to him. He's a big rugby fan, so he's telling us about some other stuff as well. And Tim Vickery joins us. I think the first time it's done it Friday for years, isn't it? Juan Sebastian Veron's got a 6-month ban for turning his back on the opposition with a guard of dishonour, effectively, he told his players to do. And he's got a massive ban. We'll find out exactly.
He's got a point there. I mean, it's typical of Argentinian football. They just change the rules as
they do mid-season. Yeah, they don't think twice, do they? No. Anyway, we'll do that. We'll have a Falls panel. Let's just give you the games very quickly. Tottenham Fulham, which we'll bring you tomorrow evening, 8 o'clock, here on talkSPORT exclusively. Palace Manchester United, Sunday at midday. And then Chelsea Arsenal, of course, updates on talkSPORT on Sunday afternoon with Sam and the team. We'd like you to predict the scores of those games. You call us now, we'll call you back in about an hour and a half. You can take us on, Nigel Adderley, Stan Collymore. So they're the games. 03717 22 3344. That's 03717 22 3344. Call us now. We'll call you back at 2:45. Register your interest now, though. And we look forward to chatting to you later. I think the listeners doing pretty well, and you could keep building up some points for the panel beaters. But yes, former Newcastle and Holland keeper Tim Krul joining us for a chat in a few moments' time. We're here, of course, with our good friends at Toolstation. Check out Toolstation's unmissable deals, great offers on hundreds of trade brands. Next stop, Toolstation. Good afternoon, Paul Hawksbee, Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT. We'll bring some clips of the week, of course, as always, a little bit later on. But joining us now and preparing to don the gloves and the boots once again is the former Newcastle and Holland keeper, Tim Krul. Good afternoon, Tim.
Afternoon, guys.
Yeah, you're going to be playing at Loftus Road. We've mentioned this game before. It's quite the lineup. It's the game for the children. 15th of December, 7:15 kickoff. Louis Saha, Ronald de Boer, Jaap Stam, JJ Okocha, William Gallas, Carlo Cudicini, David James. A lot of goalkeepers.
A lot of goalkeepers.
You can be swapped in and out. And Tim, you're going to be playing as well.
Yes, hopefully in goal and not getting shot out the left wing or something. So.
What's your outfield position, if you're given a choice?
I used to be all right on the left wing when I was still quick, but then obviously I started growing and I lost that pace, and they were like, "Well, you're the tallest, so you get into goal now."
What did you like going? Were you one of those that when you got the chance to go into goal as an outfield player, you would?
To be fair, yeah. Obviously, from 5 till 10, I was left wing, and then, like I said, our goalkeeper moved on to another local team, and they just looked around and they said, "Right, you are the tallest." And to be fair, I started growing quickly. I lost my pace and the technique a bit, so they were like, "You can go in goal now."
These days, goalkeepers have to have that technique.
Yeah, they talk about that, don't they? They get kids in academies and they think they might not make it as a centre-half or a midfielder, but they think they could be a keeper in there, so they convert them.
Yeah, well, especially, obviously, Pep changed the whole benchmark, what is expected of a goalkeeper with Edison. So you kind of have to be able to be that 11th outfield player now. So, yeah, having that kind of foundation at a young age, I think is vital for the young new generation coming up.
When was the last time you played, Tim?
Oh, the official game was Man City, my last ever game in the cup for Luton. Obviously, I continued training over the summer and officially retired 3 months ago. So yeah, I need to go back in the garage and find those gloves and boots to
dust them all down. Yeah, well, it's a brilliant lineup. There's a few showbiz people in there as well. But it's all for a fantastic cause. Game for the children is going to be taking place, we said, 7:15 Loftus Road on the 15th of December. You can get your tickets from QPR, qpr.com/tickets to watch all those stars in action. If you're a QPR fan, you've got Charlie Austin there as well, Clarence Seedorf. Yeah, just a brilliant lineup. And Pete Doherty, QPR fan and musician, of course.
I don't think he'll be doing the full 90.
You may not do the full 90, no. Tim, it's interesting. We just had Eddie Howe's press conference and he's been talking about the goalkeeping position. A little bit of pressure on Nick Pope at the moment. He says he'll think long and hard about it. He doesn't like to chop and change, so defences can be used to a regular keeper. I mean, he does have Aaron Ramsdale there. What's your reading of it as a former Newcastle keeper?
Yeah, I mean, Aaron Ramsdale obviously will be chomping to get on the pitch. You know, he's played 2 cup games and he's a top goalkeeper playing for Arsenal. He's had an amazing season a couple of years ago and he's probably up there with the best goalkeepers England have. So for Newcastle to have 2 top goalkeepers is always going to be competition for places. I mean, Nick Pope has done unbelievable for the club the last couple of years. He's going through a bit of a patch this season where there's a couple of goals going in that it's his fault, and he can patch it up how he wanted, and ultimately the goal he concedes against Marseille is costing the club vital points to stay in that top 8 in the Champions League. So, but then again, Man City in the weekend, he was very important for the team. So it's a balance, and ultimately Eddie doesn't want to change. I get that because he can rely on Nick Pope. He's won an amazing trophy last season. But yeah, there's a bit of pressure on there, but that's good for the team. You know, you need that competition, and Nick Pope will thrive, and he knows he needs to do better. He'll be the first one to hold his hand up and say that he could have done better.
There was a game, wasn't there, where Ramsdale came on for a penalty, just to save a penalty. Did that ring true with you? Did that ring a bell?
Yes, you've been there.
No, I don't know. I don't know why you rely on him, but no, it's yeah. Again, he's a top goalkeeper, so it's hard for him to move to Newcastle. He's obviously had a bad season at Southampton, and he's finding his feet again. And it's the hardest part as a number 2, where you're waiting for your time for an injury. Obviously, Nick Pope had a concussion a couple of weeks ago, but then it was only 10 days and it was an international break, so he didn't really get his chance. So it's a tricky position to be in, but ultimately, I think Eddie will stick with Nick Pope for a couple more games, but we'll all know a few more mistakes and a few more losses. The pressure will probably be heavy on Eddie to change to give Aaron a chance.
Normally with keepers, it used to be the way that there was very definitely a pecking order. You'd have your number one, the number two keeper. There would be a bit of a drop off because there was an understanding that you weren't going to see as much game time. But maybe less so at some clubs. Certainly at Newcastle, where you got two top keepers and someone like Mamadashvili at Liverpool as well. So I do wonder if that puts extra pressure on you. If the number two's an international and someone who's chomping at the bit to play.
Yeah, I agree with you. I like competition, but I agree with you. I prefer to be the out-and-out number one and having that trust of your manager that you are able to make one or two mistakes. But again, you're challenging on 4 competitions, Champions League on a Thursday, then playing on a Sunday. One little injury, you need a top goalkeeper to be able to, obviously step in and be able to cope with these amazing levels like Premier League and Carabao Cup quarterfinal. So you need a big squad. We know that, and Eddie is the first one to admit that he wanted improvement of the squad in the summer, and they did. They recruited well, not just in the goalkeeping position.
Yeah. I was just going to ask you a question about Arne Slot, your fellow countryman, who's going through the ringer a bit at the moment. What have you made of what's going on at Liverpool? I don't think anybody can quite fathom it out.
Yeah, there's a lot been said about it, and rightly so. I mean, going to be the champions last year, Anfield was a fortress, and now teams are going there and they actually feel like they can get a result there. I mean, I don't think anybody would have expected PSV Eindhoven, with all the respect, to go there and beat them 4-1. So, yeah, there's a lot happening, obviously, behind the scenes. We all know what happened in the summer with Jota, and clearly that has a massive impact. And people leaving, I don't think people really... They probably underestimated the impact of Trent on the right side, the relationship he had with Salah, even Nunes to an extent, Diaz leaving. But yeah, ultimately the players who've come in, they haven't stepped up to the plate and they haven't hit the ground running. And yeah, they just look vulnerable at the moment. So when you spend all that money on these top players coming in, you're expecting a lot more, and especially the money Liverpool has spent this year.
He's never been under pressure like this, really. I mean, he's never had a job with this profile. I mean, he did brilliantly last year, but do you expect him to ride it out? I'm sure you've kind of encountered him a bit over the years.
Yeah, he seems cool enough in his interviews, but deep down he'll be, yeah, of course, it's a horrible position to be in, to lose 7 out of 8 games. I think it's now, and that's not acceptable for a team like Liverpool. So everybody knows that. I think he'd be the one really, really trying his hardest to change things around, but the pressure's on, and you see the interviews with Virgil, and obviously you see Curtis Jones the other day having a really honest interview, but it's less talking now, and they're talking about not pressing and not putting tackles in. Those are the basics, and that's what Liverpool stands for. If you look at them last year, they were getting after teams and they were on the front foot, and it's just not happening this year.
No. And finally, we've got the World Cup draw next week, and Netherlands are there, of course. They're pretty comfortable in their group. How are you feeling about the World Cup from a Dutch point of view, Tim?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's amazing. Mexico, Canada, and America. Holland, the expectations are always top 4, semi-finals. Anything less is a disappointment. So, yeah, there'll be big pressure, like England. Very similar outlook on that tournament, but want to really get excited about it.
Well, Tim, good to talk to you. Enjoy getting the boots back on, and enjoy playing in that match. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Tim Krul there, Loftus Road, 15th of December. A lot of great charities going to benefit from that, including the homelessness charity Shelter, QPR in the community, and others. And as we said, a brilliant lineup of players going to be there. QPR.com/tickets. A game for the children. 7:15 kickoff on the 15th of December, and you'll see Tim in action. I mentioned the World Cup draw there, and drive ahead and across the pond. Next week, from Monday, Andy Goldstein, Darren Bent will bring you 5 live shows from the USA to get the party started ahead of the World Cup. So Andy and Darren will start their journey in New York before ending up in Washington, D.C., where the draw's taking place, and we'll find out what the home nations will be facing at the World Cup in June. Lots of guests joining them along the way, including Rio Ferdinand, Ali McCoist, Nigel Rio-Coker, Brad Friedel, and lots more besides. That's Drive live from the USA from the 1st to the 5th of December.
Two Young Boys fans have been arrested after violence broke out amongst away supporters during their loss at Villa Park. Forward Donyell Marlon was struck on the head by an object during the first half. Sam Matterface was at the ground.
I saw punches being thrown by the supporters and one connected with a policeman's head that took his helmet off. So let's not pretend that this was the police trying to cause problems. There was a bloke who actually smashed up a seat, picked it up and then threw it.
Down under, meanwhile, there's no Cummins or Hazelwood again for the Aussies, so another golden opportunity for England to win, this time in Brisbane. And David Bumble-Lloyd has some advice for England's batters.
We're going to wear the bowlers down. These matches are coming thick and fast. And we're going to have an hour off and just play 2, 3 and over.
Back to the footy, and the FA has bid for the 2035 Women's World Cup to be hosted across the UK. Meanwhile, Eddie Howe's weighing up whether to replace Nick Pope with Aaron Ramsdale this weekend.
Depending on the style of goalkeeper, a lot changes and defenders in front get used to a style. So that's something for me to consider. Certainly rotating the goalkeeper position isn't something that I want to do.
And Mike Tyndall's Rebel League R360 is postponing its launch by 2 years to 2028. There are reports it doesn't have the players or finances to get started. 8 leading Test nations and the Lions have banned anyone from playing international rugby if they sign up.
Autumn Internationals preview on talkSPORT with Funding Circle. Tackle your business goals head on with fast, fair and hassle-free finance solutions. Find out more at fundingcircle.com.
Yes, going to talk a little bit of rugby and Autumn Internationals. We're at very much the tail end of them with our good friends at Funding Circle, because our next guest, a massive rugby fan, has played it and coached it all over the world and indeed watched it. And we're going to talk about other stuff as well. It's TV's very own Nick Knowles. Hi, Nick.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, thank you. Yeah, we will come on to the rugby shortly. But you're going to hopefully try and save us some money, give us a few tips. A few household hacks first up.
Well, kind of, yeah. It's like they've done some research on things that we believe and things that we think we know that we do that actually don't make any sense at all. I mean, it's sort of old wives' tales, things that we've been passed on. Like, for example, at home, like there's this thing that people think if you paint your radiators black, they'll perform better.
Right.
Yeah, it's nonsense. It's like, there's a reason why solar panels are painted black. It's because it absorbs heat and so they work better. If you've got a black car during the summer, it's red hot, and if you've got a white car, then it's not so hot because it reflects heat. But it doesn't work on radiators indoors. So main thing is just bleed your radiators to make sure that they're working properly. But there's all kinds of other stuff as well. And one of the big ones that they discovered is that we all think that electricity is cheaper at night than it is during the day, because I think it's a leftover from the old days when we used to have, I don't know whether you can remember, they used to have night storage heaters, the things that hang on the wall. And they used to have this thing called Economy 7, where you basically, your heaters would heat up during the night. It really, really clever technology, by the way. Underneath that metal cover was 2 massive breeze blocks that used to get warmed up overnight and then would release the heat during the day. But electricity was cheaper, and it can be cheaper now, but you basically have to access it or access a scheme to be able to do it. So you need to, if you've got a smart meter, you can contact your energy advisor and then you can get yourself cheaper electricity at night. I've got a tariff myself. I've got it on where it's cheaper at night and cheaper on Sundays, so you can actually save a few quid by not wasting it. Actually, having a smart meter is a really good idea. People were very resistant to it. People like me, old dinosaurs like me. But actually, if you've got one and like you've got the whole family sitting down to dinner and you've got the whole house is lit up like a Christmas tree, as you go around and switch all the lights off, you can see the electricity use going down and down. Or things like even boiling a kettle, which actually uses a lot of electricity. And we boil an entire kettle to make 1 cup of tea, whereas actually if you boil just a little bit, you can see it not using as much electricity. So smart meters are a really good idea. I mean, 70% of houses now have smart meters.
Yeah.
And if you haven't got one, you just ask your energy provider and they'll sort it out for you. And that will heighten your awareness about how you're wasting money.
Yeah, I resisted it for a while, Nick, a bit like you, but I've had one now for about 6-8 months and it's been fine. You get all these scare stories that suddenly you're getting a bill for 250 grand for a month, but none of that has happened to me, and it probably hasn't happened to you because I think it would have been in the papers.
If I get one, it will happen to me, though. Thanks.
Yeah, that'll probably be the 50-foot Christmas tree you put in there with 1,000 lights.
That'll be it. The one that somebody told me about, I mean, that thing about rinsing your dishes before you put them in the dishwasher. But apparently that's a load of old nonsense. You don't need to do that, do you?
No, I mean these days with the dishwasher, the tablets and the energy, the settings that they have, you don't need to do that. The dishwasher will do the job for you. There's weird stuff as well, like like my granddad always believed you put conkers on the windowsill which stops spiders getting in the house. It's absolute nonsense. Most women will believe if they go out with wet hair, they'll end up getting a cold. There's no correlation at all. It's like there's really daft stuff that you sort of pass down. Like a black cat walking across your path, or I mean, it's really weird stuff. And the funny thing is, when you ask people, 50% of people will tell you they don't believe it, but they still do it anyway.
Yeah, I just think the idea of overnight you wake up and you just hear the spiders playing conkers downstairs on the windowsill, having a game. I got a sixer. So we were talking rugby, and it's gone rather well for England, isn't it? It's been a bit of a year of transition. This time, sort of over a year ago, Steve Borthwick was all under the cosh. Now they're looking really good for the Six Nations.
I'll be honest. I said I couldn't see which way this was going. We still under pressure, kick away too much possession. I mean, we do play. Boot the ball away and play in their half. And I think sometimes you look at the bigger teams and you think, well, we're not going to scare South Africa with that. But to be fair, this autumn they fronted up pretty good and had a good run through. I don't think New Zealand are the strong side that they have been in the past, and they're in transition themselves. South Africa are the benchmark. I mean, they pretty much they've probably got the best team, possibly the best second team as well, if you actually look at their bench. But we're getting there, and there are some really good sides. I mean, Bath are playing. If you look at Bath, they've got an amazing bench. Do you know that like they call it the bomb squad in South Africa? When the bench comes on, and during this internationals, because we got such a strong bench, they were calling it the Pom squad. Did you pick up on that?
Yes, yeah.
And I was down in Bath the other day, and they actually brought on their bench, which is pretty impressive as well. And I was like, what would you call it? The Bath Bomb?
Very good.
Do you follow a Premiership team then, Nick?
No, the nature of my work is I'm all over the place. So rather than declaring allegiance to one particular side, I'll try and get to a game wherever I am if there's a home side on. So I'll quite often go to Gloucester or Bath or Bristol, which all fairly. Harlequins is quite close to where I live. I'm out that sort of Gloucester way quite a lot. I've got a charity, rugby charity with Mike Tyndall, Rugby for Heroes, which we operate pretty much out of Gloucester as well. So I'm in and out of there a lot. But anywhere I'd be, go to Exeter and. I'm sort of made friends with Rory Best, so I'm going to try and get over to Ulster for a game and get up to Leicester, wherever I can see a game, basically. I just love my rugby.
I take it you've had some interesting chats with Mike about R360. We hear today that they're pushing back the launch. I mean, how do you feel about that?
There's always going to be some resistance, isn't there? I mean, if you think about, the cricket, the way the cricket works over with the IPL and things like that, and if you can trace all of that all the way back to sort of the Kerry Packer series and being paid to go and do stuff, and it ends up being that way in the end. I think there's got look, I'm not involved with it in any way particular, but I think that we have to come up with a better model for rugby. Most of the Premiership sides are really struggling financially, and if there's something that'll bring money into the game and make it work better, so that we can sustain it better. And I think like a high-end thing like 360s might be the way to go about doing it. And international, and you see the same in golf with Live Golf, don't you? The initial reaction was massive resistance, and then after a little while it was, well, let's just embrace it and get on with it. I think that's probably going to be the model eventually. There's going to be a lot of resistance. Some players are going to be threatened with not having an international career, and then eventually it will just push into just happening, I think.
Yeah.
DIY SOS still going strong. It's 25 years, isn't it, this year? Is that right?
26.
26.
Actually.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, 26 years. Yeah, no, look, we still get to do them. Look, I got the best job in the world with that. Like, we work with amazing people and for amazing people, and then when I'm not doing that, I'm doing travel shows, and I got to do some of that. Actually, last year I was down in, talking about rugby, I was down in Argentina doing a film about Patagonia, and managed to run out for 20 minutes at the age of 61. Managed to run out for 20 minutes in a game in Buenos Aires, just so I could tick it off my list of places that I've played.
Brilliant. Fantastic. I take it they play hard, even if it's just a sort of knockabout game. You got stuck in, did you?
It was an all-ability game where I was just going on there just for the TV, and 5 minutes in, I'm like going for it full pelt and wheezing and blowing out, having difficulty breathing. I almost used an unfortunate expression there. But look, when I gave up rugby, I missed it something terrible. And you'll know, any kind of sport that you've been involved in, that sort of camaraderie in the changing rooms, and with rugby, being able to run into people every now and again. And I'm a big unit. I'm 6'2" and a 50-inch chest, and I sit on the one show next to someone like Peter Andre, and I look like the honey monster. It's you don't get many chances in life to do that kind of thing on a regular basis. So I miss it a lot.
Fantastic stuff. Well, look, good to talk to you. All the best, Nick. Thanks very much for joining us.
Yeah, I've been enjoying you. Have a great day.
Take care. All that research, then, those old wives' tales, etc. Smart
cheese is the best bait for mousetraps. You would have thought that's true, but
no,
apparently it isn't.
We had one of these humane mousetraps. The cat would occasionally bring them in, but they'd still be. She'd just
not very humane.
No, but she'd sort of bring a bit of a soft mouth, which is not a cat. She wasn't much of a predator.
Right.
So they'd still be fine, but they'd like run around the house. To get them out under a. We had this little plastic thing that the door closes on them, and then you can release them in the garden, probably for the cat to bring back in again. But I found peanut butter.
Really?
I like a bit of peanat butter.
I didn't know that.
In the Elvis mould. So a small French loaf smothered in peanut butter and golden syrup. No, not like the king.
Deep fried.
Deep fried. No, just the peanut butter. So that was, there we are. Silly little tip for you. Where were we? Yes, our thanks to Nick. And, of course, still one more Autumn International will be played over the weekend. But that, for now, was our look ahead to the Autumn Internationals with Funding Circle.
Autumn Internationals preview on talkSPORT with Funding Circle, supporting the supporters with fast, fair and hassle-free business finance solutions. Find out more at fundingcircle.com.
Do you want a bit of good news, Andy, from your point of view?
Yes, please. What is it?
Enzo Maresca has just said that Cole Palmer is available for selection against Arsenal.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Stan. He's out till March, apparently.
Stan didn't think we'd see him till March. Is that a broken toe?
I might be pointing that out to him.
Broken toe could be a season ender. Didn't even last a week.
Still.
Everybody's toes are different. Stan's got very breakable toes.
He won't start. There's absolutely no chance. It wouldn't be fair, and it's not right on him. You know. He's going to.
Not a bad player to bring off the bench.
No, not too bad. Yeah, hopefully be ready for the Christmas period.
Tim Vickery's going to join us next. Yeah, Juan Sebastian Veron, well known in this part of the world. He's got a 6-month ban for a reverse guard of honour. It's quite the sight. I think hopefully if you're watching on Connect TV or YouTube, we'll try and show it to you. But we'll get all the circumstances behind it from our man in Rio in a few moments' time. We're here with Toolstation. Check out Toolstation's unmissable deals. Great offers on hundreds of trade brands. Next stop, Toolstation.
Las Vegas, baby, on talkSPORT.
Yes, not long left. The countdown is on. You've got until 4 p.m. today. Don't miss your chance to kick off 2026 by winning an epic trip to Vegas, thanks to our friends at Virgin Hotels Las Vegas. Yes, just a couple of hours or so, you and your best mate could be flying upper class from London to Vegas, checking into a luxury spa villa for 4 incredible nights at Virgin Hotels Las Vegas, cheering from the stands for the Raiders v the Chiefs, and you'll get £5,000 in cash to spend on whatever you like too. So clear your calendar from the 2nd to the 7th of Jan 2026, because nothing starts the new year like Vegas. Good luck.
21 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text WIN to 83338. Text at £2 plus standard network rate. Bill payer's permission required. Or call 03434239761. Calls are charged at standard rate. All entries must be received by the 28th of November at 4 p.m. This is a network promotion. Run across talkSPORT, Virgin Radio UK and Talk. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
Yes, time to head off to Rio to bring you the latest on the world of South American football. Tim Vickery. Hey, Tim.
Afternoon, gentlemen.
Wow, this story about Juan Sebastian Veron has made quite a lot of the press over here, understandably, because played over here for a number of years. He's got a 6-month ban. He's now the Estudiantes president. He's got a 6-month ban for a kind of Poznan, a guard of dishonour. A guard of dishonour.
Yeah, all right, shall we unpack this one?
Unpack it all, yeah.
This, you're seeing there, if you're watching, you're seeing Rosario Central come out there, and this is significant because they're being led, of course, by Angel Di Maria. And this story is all to do with Angel Di Maria. Argentine football is chaos. 30 teams in the first division. They have 2 separate championships a year with a league phase followed by a knockout phase. What they decided to do last week was invent a new champion, a different champion. So not the champion of the first tournament, not the champion of the second tournament, but a kind of overall champion for the team that had accumulated most points in the 2 league phases. The problem was all the games had already been played. So you're just awarding a title to someone that they didn't even know that they were competing for. And that someone was Rosario Central. Why did they do this? This has everything to do with the triumphant return to Argentine football of Di Maria, who's been a sensation. It's been wonderful to watch. The stadium's all over. The fans of the other teams have been acclaiming him. And he said that his one remaining ambition was to win a title with Rosario Central. So the Argentine FA said, well, hang on. I think here's one we prepared earlier for you. So they awarded this title retrospectively to Rosario Central. The other teams not particularly happy. But one team dead set against. The chippiest of the lot, Estudiantes under Veron. As the gods of football determined it, the very next game, knockout game, it's Rosario Central against Estudiantes. You couldn't script this. You really couldn't. And so by tradition, Estudiantes are supposed to form this guard of honour for the new champions, and they did it with their backs turned to show their contempt for the whole thing. Now, the big question here is, who has the last laugh? Because you might say, well, look, Veron, the president, has been suspended, the captain has been suspended, others have been suspended, but on the field, Estudiantes inflicted the first defeat that Central have suffered with Di Maria in the team, meaning, and try and unpack this one, Estudiantes have just eliminated the Argentine champions from the Argentine Championship.
For goodness sake.
It goes back all those years ago. Remember when Boca looked like they were going to get relegated, so the Argentinian... River. And the Argentinian league just changed their rules so they wouldn't go down.
Yeah, and even that didn't work in the end because they did go down. It is tough, Argentina, because the tradition of Argentina is basically Buenos Aires with a couple of teams from outside. So you've got all these teams that are kind of neighbourhood teams. Imagine Leyton Orient. Yeah. But Leyton Orient are massive. That's the way it is in Argentina.
Leyton Orient fans will be shouting, we are massive.
Yeah. With all due respect, better late than never. Yeah. And they've now decided to nationalise. So the Argentine Championship, it is creating bigger teams outside Buenos Aires. How do you keep them all alive? How do you keep the neighbourhood clubs going and open up space for these new regional forces? Answer, 30 in the first division. Once you got 30 in the first division, how on earth do you organise a coherent championship? Answer, you don't. You just throw mud at the wall and hope that it sticks.
I mean, the boss of the Argentinian Football Association, Tapia, and Veron are rivals, aren't they? Veron is a rival for his job.
So it's a bit of politics here. And he was telling me there's a Patagonian team that could come up, and that is a hell of a trip, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and it's a big place, Argentina. It's a really, really big country, making it somewhat strange that so much of it is dominated by Buenos Aires. But as I say, they are nationalising. There could well even be space for Welsh-speaking Patagonians in the Argentine First Division. Who knows?
So we got the European Cup of South America, the Copa Libertadores coming up. It's going to be on the TV over here,
on British TV Live. Yeah.
It's an all Brazil affair. You've been telling us that such is the strength of Brazilian football now, and there's a bit more money in the game to entice players back and keep players from going to Europe. More importantly, means Flamengo, Palmeiras.
Yeah, and these two teams, they're the big two. They've, including this year, they've won 5 of the last 7 Libertadores titles, all of which have gone to Brazil, and 7 of the last 10 Brazilian titles. This is the biggie. And they played this final 4 years ago. Both of them are so much bigger now than they are then. And just look who they bought. And the Club World Cup has given them more money and more visibility. Flamengo have Jorginho. I bought him, from Arsenal, the one-time Chelsea midfielder. Saul also had the Spaniard, also had a spell at Chelsea. They got Danilo, who might not play. The former Man City, Real Madrid, Juventus. He might not get a game at centre-back. Emerson Royale, late of our parish, Paul, who will almost certainly be on the bench. Palmeiras have brought in Andreas Pereira. More on him in just a minute. From Fulham. They brought in a couple from Forest, the goalkeeper Carlos Miguel, who's getting a game because the first-choice keeper got injured. Ramon Sosa, the Paraguayan winger, who will probably be on the bench. They got Felipe Anderson, late of West Ham. Victor Roque, the centre-forward, they brought in from Barcelona, the most expensive player ever signed by a Brazilian club. This is the Andreas Pereira derby, because when they met in the final 4 years ago, Andreas Pereira was then playing for Flamengo. And he dropped an absolute brick that decided the game. He got caught in possession, dilly-dallying Tottenham Hotspur style, close to his own goal. And his mistake decided the game. He is now playing for Palmeiras. So he's going to get some cheers and maybe some boos from both sets of supporters.
Wow, interesting. Yeah, it should be a good game. Just finally, Leeds fans were hoping Bielsa might be able to come back, but he had a 4-hour sit-down with the powers that be, having called a press conference where he basically sat there and slagged himself off for being terrible. But they wanted
hours and hours and hours. Yeah, they lost 5-1 to a kind of second-string United States team. It was a massacre, and they've been poor for a while. It started off very well under Bielsa, but they've been poor for a while. And so was he going to go? Was he going to get sacked? No, he's not going to get sacked. Is he going to sack himself? He called a press conference. Does this mean he's going? No, it means he's going to spend 2 hours telling everyone what a dreadful person he is, but he's going to stay. On and on it goes.
It's great, isn't it? Yeah.
And I'm indebted to you for your prediction that Esteval would be brilliant. And I was able to say to people, watch this bloke. Tim Vickery says he's the best.
Yeah, what a goal that was. I mean, you score a goal like that against Barcelona in Europe. I mean, look, people knew he was good, and you've been telling us he was good, but suddenly it's a kind of global recognition, isn't it, Tim?
On his wrong foot.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't have a wrong
frightening.
foot, really.
It's just absolutely frightening, isn't it? You have the first genuine Brazilian superstar to have chosen and to have a chance of playing at his peak in the Premier League. Don't take this for granted. Enjoy it. Oh, you lucky people.
I know. Especially as his agent was saying, he's still interested in Barcelona.
Yeah,
thanks.
Well,
Of course
just passing
all these
through.
players, you're only going to have them for a certain amount of time, aren't you?
Cheers, Tim. We'll catch up with you next week.
Look forward to it. Cheers.
Tim Vickery there with the latest on the world of South American football. Stan Collymore joins us a little bit later on. We'll look at all the big stories. We'll talk a bit of Liverpool with him. I think he was at the Villa game last night as well. The original Stig, Perry McCarthy from Top Gear, will be popping in to see us as well. There's plenty of interesting stuff in the world of F1 currently. And a Christmas dinner and a cup, courtesy of Stockport County's head chef, later on in the show. got a Falls panel coming up. Stan Collymore joining us and some clips of the week. But first, Toby Gillis is here with the sports headlines.
talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van Range. Commercial vehicles built around your business. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
Good afternoon. Does Arne Slot have a week to save his job? That is Jamie Carragher's view, who wrote in The Telegraph today that anything less than 7 points from West Ham, Sunderland and Leeds will make an already unacceptable situation untenable. Slot said yesterday he'll fight on. talkSPORT's football correspondent Alex Crook says there's at least one man undermining the manager's position.
For me, the single biggest factor in Liverpool's drop-off is Mo Salah. Mo Salah was the reason they won the title last season. He hit phenomenal heights, even by previous standards, and I'm surprised we've not had a single caller question his motivation. Where is the Mo Salah from last season?
What Mo Salah
was he just playing for a new contract?
Well, the big game of the weekend in the Premier League is Chelsea-Arsenal, and we've just heard from Enzo Maresca that Cole Palmer is available and could start for Chelsea. He hasn't played at all since September. Eddie Howe has admitted he has a big dilemma that may well impact England in the summer too. He's debating dropping Nick Pope for Aaron Ramsdale, insisting he doesn't believe in chopping and changing that position. That suggests if he makes the move, it'll be for the medium term at least. Former Newcastle keeper Tim Krul told H&J he doesn't think Howe will make the change just yet.
Ultimately, I think Eddie will stick with Nick Pope for a couple more games, but we'll all know a few more mistakes and a few more losses. The pressure will probably be heavy on Eddie to change to give Aaron a chance.
Newcastle are at Everton at 5:30 tomorrow. Police are questioning 2 fans of Young Boys after their trip to Aston Villa last night was marred by violence. Donyell Marlon was left bloodied after being hit by a missile, while the police were also targeted. And 3 stadiums yet to be developed are mentioned in the UK-wide bid to host the 2035 Women's World Cup. They're Man United's new Old Trafford, Wrexham's Stoke Kairaz and Birmingham's new ground. FIFA will consider the bid, although there are no others running at the moment.
talkSPORT News.
NHS advisors are expected to rule against a mass screening programme for prostate cancer in the UK. And a robber who kicked and punched a pensioner for a cottage pie has been jailed for life for his murder. More from the news team at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Visit quickfit.com for huge savings on tyres, servicing, batteries, wipers and more in our Black Friday event. And drive away happy every time. Conditions apply.
Showers moving southeastwards all day. Some will be thundery, sunny skies in between, with the southeast of England generally staying dry. Fresher than yesterday with some wind.
Power on talkSPORT. With Paddy's Super Sub, your new bet rolls over to the new player coming on. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Yes, it's time for today's Bet Builder with our friends at Paddy Power. We welcome Ben Steele. We're going to look forward to tomorrow evening's game live on talkSPORT in the Premier League. Tottenham taking on Fulham at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Hiya, Ben.
Hiya, how you getting on?
Yeah, not so bad. Just tell us how the Bet Builder works.
Yeah, sure. So we've got 5 selections for this bet builder. That's one each from each of us, one from your producer, and then a final one, which is the most popular pick from Paddy's punters so far. We'll stick that all together into a bet builder. Hopefully, if we've found a winner, we'll be donating money to the Attitude Foundation, who do a lot of great work around the LGBTQ community.
Excellent. Well, I'll get us underway. No Romero because he's suspended for 5 bookings. Not that made a massive amount of difference at the back against PSG at times. But both teams to score, I've gone, Ben.
Yeah, look, as you said, it's been a fairly leaky week for Spurs defensively. 9 goals and 2 hat-tricks in the last week for them. So it's not exactly a staunch defensive output so far. And obviously Romero out, I think actually probably will have a little bit of an impact. The 2 games between Fulham and Thomas Frank's Brentford last season saw 8 goals as well. So it looks like these two both seem to know how to work each other out, at least going forward. Maybe not so well defensively, though.
Andy, you've gone for Randall Colomwani, haven't you?
Yeah, I have, because A, that he scored twice, and B, listening to Thomas Frank after the match, saying this could be, we're really hoping the lift-off. He's had a lot of problems, but he is a quality player, and he certainly showed that with the finishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. And look, obviously, as I said, it's been a bit of a tough week for Spurs fans. So we'll be charitable and say that Colin Moani got 2 against the other champions of Europe rather than the actual champions of Europe in that game there. He's surely set up to start the game there.
Does that mean you're an Arsenal fan? Is that what it means? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it does. Yes, but that's we can skip past that. That's fine.
Very poor.
Yeah. Well, it's always nice to win a trophy. Doesn't matter what it is.
I'd wait a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit.
So the Tottenham win, says the producer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, obviously, perhaps unsurprisingly, given my allegiances, I was looking a little bit at Fulham, at least Fulham double chance, which is 8-13 if you're interested. But then I noticed that Fulham actually haven't won away at Spurs since 2013. Dimitar Berbatov with the goal there, so that actually bodes pretty well for Spurs to get back on track.
What have you gone with? This is the people. So what's the people's choice? The most popular bet amongst the Paddy punters?
It is. Yeah. Look, to be honest, these are 2 fairly similar ones. Sasa Lukic to be carded is the people's pick. Fulham have had 24 yellow cards so far this season, and 5 of them are from Lukic. He's getting back into the team after being suspended last week against Fulham. Into a fairly sort of spiky midfield battle, I'd say. We'll come on to my pick in a second, but Lukic is perhaps unsurprisingly the 6-4 favourite to be carded in the game.
And you've gone for player playing against his old club, of course.
Yes, yeah, and look, from one card magnet to another to a certain extent. João Palhinha to be booked is my pick. He set the record for most bookings in a season with 14. Well, sorry, tied the record with about 6 or 7 others with 14 when he was playing for Fulham, and he's been booked 4 times already this season. Although, admittedly, one of them was for taking his shirt off, celebrating a goal, so not entirely sure that we'll be seeing that one. But he does like to get stuck in, and look, with Lukic on the other side, those two could be clashing fairly often, I'd have thought.
So, what are the overall odds then on the bet?
Yeah, so all of that comes into to 52-1 overall. So £10 bet will return £530, including stake. And as I said at the start, that will be donated to the Attitude Foundation. And a quick reminder there that the player-specific picks, so Moani to score anytime, Lukic and Palhinha to be carded, will be covered by Paddy's Super Sub as well. So if any of those 3 players come off, the bet will roll over to the player who's replacing them.
Excellent. Thank you, Ben. Thanks very much.
No worries, chat to you in a bit. Cheers,
there
guys.
We are. Paddy's Bet Builder for today. Minimum odds 1 to 5 play. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Paddy Power on talkSPORT. With Paddy's Super Sub, your new bet rolls over to the new player coming on. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
The way the league is, though, at the moment, he's so mad because if Chelsea lose to Arsenal, which is very eminently possible, and Spurs beat Fulham, it'd be 2 points behind Chelsea. And yet Chelsea have had a great start to the season, and Spurs are struggling. It's just...
Yeah, well, Tottenham had an all right start.
And I know, it's dropped off. There's from 6th to 13th, there's like 3 points. It's nothing, so anybody that goes on a run can go up the table.
No, absolutely.
Our old mate, go on.
Oh, sorry, what were you going to say, Andy?
Brian Linford, he wrote about it.
This is the guy who writes the Star.
He writes about everything. He writes, honestly, talk about a polymath. He can write on anything.
I think that's pushing it a bit.
I know.
He's a man who writes a lot of letters.
Cut price polymath.
Yeah, okay. Right.
He wrote, BBC Three Match of the Day in capitals features the South American Libertadores Copa Final. Oh, why is that in capitals? Surely Libertadores should be in capitals, but anyway. The most prestigious trophy.
Don't mark his work in the moment's gone.
Domestic South American club football. An all-Brazilian affair features Palmeiras, including former Prem star Andreas Pereira, just to get us interested, and Flamengo, followed by BBC Match of the Day. Footy connoisseurs can compare. Thanks, BBC, for the terrestrial TV viewing.
They're going to show it on BBC Three.
Yes.
Isn't that like the kids' channel, the youth channel? Won't they be a bit put out that there isn't sort of married after 20 minutes on again or something like that? Or
I've no idea, I'm afraid.
Getting naked on a beach or something like that.
You do. You're
going to have to watch Copa Libertadores. Not copping off, more Copa Libertadores, I would imagine. Anyway, you've got your list of stuff here.
I've done you a new list.
I've probably got time for one.
Okay, well, let's hope it's a good one.
Okay, shall I say number 65?
Number 65.
What do you have? Now, these are Andy's cuttings that he has to number. He's got so many of them. He just accumulates this mad stuff. What's number 65?
Oh, yes, this is a very strange letter. This was after Pope Francis died. This woman wrote...
Blimey, that's been sitting around for a while, isn't it? Yeah.
As Pope Francis ascends to heaven, world, take note. Respect his wishes. End war and greed. We born to live. Jellyfish prove it. Wonderful world. R.I.P. Fantastic man. Love Jane. XX.
Ah.
That's the sort of tribute you would have wanted.
There was gravitas in there, but it was a bit of frivolity as well. It was all there, wasn't it?
It's all there.
I'm sure he would have approved.
Cross it off your song sheet.
I have 65. I won't throw
Thank
it
you
away
very
again
much.
anymore.
Good.
Anyway, Perry McCarthy's in next. He was the original Stig from Top Gear. That wasn't the original name, which we'll go into.
It's interesting.
So we're going to chat to him, do a bit of F1. And if you don't know what's going on in the world of F1, thankfully Tom Clayton is on hand to explain all going into this a pretty monumental weekend potentially.
By the end of this weekend, we could have a new Formula One world champion. If McLaren's Lando Norris leaves Qatar with a gap of 26 or more points, he'll be riding off into the sunset with his first championship already in hand with a race to go. It's been a remarkable second half of the season, which we all thought was effectively wrapped up when Oscar Piastri won in the Netherlands to open up a gap of more than 30 points. But after a poor run of form, Piastri sunk like a stone and now sits 24 points behind his teammate and level with the surging Max Verstappen, who's out for his 5th title on the bounce. We'll see 2 races in Qatar this weekend, a sprint on Saturday morning, then a Grand Prix on Sunday afternoon. Now, there's a lot of maths at play here, so let me boil it down to this. A win for Lando in the sprint would mean he'd be at least 25 points ahead with 2 races left, and outscoring both Piastri and Verstappen in the Grand Prix on Sunday guarantees him the title. Finish behind one or both of them, though, and the title will go down to the finale in Abu Dhabi in just over a week's time.
Thank you, Tom. Tom will give us regular updates on Sunday. They're in practice today, and the latest news is that Norris is up to 4th, and Verstappen has been overheard on the radio saying, every time I'm off the throttle, the car is jumping a lot, so they're going to have to do a few tweaks on it before Sunday, but I think they do that anyway.
They always do that.
Anyway, regular updates from Tom over the weekend. And it's something we'll touch on with Perry McCarthy, the original Stig from Top Gear, joining us in the studio next. We're here with our good friends at Tool Station. Unmissable deals, great offers on hundreds of trade brands. Next stop, Tool Station. Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT. They've dusted off some old Top Gears, very youthful looking trio we've been seeing. Our next guest, he may be under the helmet, we don't know. He was the original Stig from Top Gear. Perry McCarthy has joined us in the studio. Hey, Perry.
Hey, Paul.
It's probably worth telling how you got the gig, because you were involved in F1, you were a driver. How did you kind of get invited in?
It's funny how these things happen. You know, my entire career of trying to get through, because I had no money, you know. So trying to get through was a nightmare to get to Formula One. Ended up, I got there, but I wrote a book about it called Flat Out, Flat Broke. Yeah, it's going really well. We sold another copy just last month. But it was actually at the, we had a lovely party, a launch party back in 2002, and loads of pals from Formula One came out to support me, and a good few friends from television, one of them being Jeremy Clarkson. So it was actually at the book launch that Jeremy said, hey, listen, you don't know this, but we're going to be bringing Top Gear back on air, because it'd been off air for quite a while. So I said, yeah. He said, and we've got this idea for you, because I don't know if you know, the first Stiggy was all in black.
That's right, all black. I saw some pictures of it today,
So Jem said, we want you to be this new, mean, moody, mysterious racing driver, and you're going to be wearing black boots, you'll be wearing black overalls, you'll be wearing black gloves, a black crash helmet, a black visor. And we're going to call you the Gimp.
Which you weren't keen on,
Which I wasn't keen on.
No.
So, as you can imagine from watching Pulp Fiction. So anyway, it went backward and forward, but they were serious about it. You know? So anyway, we got it called the Stig. That's how it kicked off. And that was in, I mean, we're just over now, like a month over. I think we started the show in October 2002. So we're 23 years in now.
Yeah. What's it like watching? Have you been catching any of the very old ones again? Have you ever watched any of those ones back?
I've revisited a few of them. I think there were a number of super elements about the show. One of the things I always say to people about Top Gear back then is that, you know what it's like, if you invest enough money with around talented people, you're going to get something good. So they made that commitment to invest, you know, it was a big production budget for the BBC. It showed. And so that made it popular because, you know, some of the shots they were doing internationally with all these driveaways, etc., they were film quality, you know. Well, it caught the imagination. And within too long, the Top Gear went into, I think it's 217 different territories around the world. And little things like the Stiggy, keeping it secret, was really good.
Yeah.
Because you know what it's like?
Why was he anonymous, though? Was it just for a bit of mystery, just for a bit of fun?
Well, you know what it's like. If you've got a secret, the fun Paul and I have, Andy, is trying to find out what your secret is. You know?
He hasn't. Andy, he just tells you everything on air. He has no.
I've picked the wrong person.
Yeah, exactly. He's far too giving on this show.
But that left to the papers sort of to reveal your identity and all that.
Well, there was the famous Michael Schumacher moment, wasn't there?
Well, I mean, the question of who is the Stig, I mean, it caught everybody's imagination.
Yeah.
It really did. And it became, who is the Stig, became one of the top 10 questions asked on the internet.
It's nuts.
I was just behind, is there a God and am I pregnant?
Being incognito allowed our old friend David English, who used to run the Bunbury Charity Cricket Club, to introduce a guy called Pete Lee. Every week he'd say to him, And it's the Stig from Top Gear.
Yeah,
No one could
because no one could disagree because it could have been Pete. I don't know what his driving's like, but
no
probably not
idea.
as good as yours. We're going to talk a little bit about sort of alternatives. This is a bit of a doomsday scenario for a kind of petrol head like you. The idea that people are buying less cars in some ways, and 60% of people said they'd like to try a Netflix-style car subscription so they could just pay so much a month and just pick up a car when they needed it.
It's an option, and I think it's a really good one, to be quite frank. It's that, cars cost a lot of money, and if you're not using it all the time, there's a lot of money just sinking away on depreciation, and they need to be serviced, and you've got to take them in. And so, there's the rental car company Sixt did a mobility survey, and they've come up with the information, and it's said all these things about there's so many people who want to try this as a subscription service. So this company can actually offer that, where you go along and you say, right, I want it for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever, and you can change your cars in between that and then give it back. And, in my parlance, in motor racing, we've got an expression called arrive and drive, so you turn up, the team's done all the work, the team's got all the mechanics, they've prepared the engine, the tyres, everything else, there's the car, you drive it, and then give it all back to them. It's like grandchildren.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. But this is the equivalent of that, is that you don't need to, obviously you have to pay for a subscription service, but so many people do. But it's that flexibility. And that's the thing I think is really cool about this, is to just go, you don't have to have something sitting on the drive, which is maybe a worry financially, because, times are obviously tight for a lot of people.
Can have something sitting on the drive with like a massive V12 that costs you a fortune to run, but then you don't use it as much. You're using a service like this for your bread and butter. And if you want to go out and get the wind in your hair, you can take out your little sports car or something.
I think principally that this is another option, which is a really cool option.
Yeah.
So, look, I'm not evangelical about this. Is that if you want to buy a car and own it and, and it's not affecting your income or whatever too badly, then fine, do that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of other people who live in towns where they just don't need the car all the time, or parking prices up here in the West End.
That is a very good point. Yeah.
Because
it's a good idea.
Zip cars have their own parking spots.
Yeah. I mean, this is a good idea.
Annoying if you're not a zip car.
Yeah, this will. I'm sure this will get a lot more interest. So we got a massive weekend of F1.
Oh yeah.
And how are you seeing it as someone who's kind of worked in that world? Who are you rooting for? Are you rooting for Lando Norris?
It's funny. It took me 10 years to become a Grand Prix driver because I didn't have the money to come through quick enough, But even after all these years, I still sit on the edge of my seat for every Formula One race. And this one, I'm going to be sitting probably on the edge of the seat because if Lando can get 2 more points than the others across the weekend, and remember, we do have a sprint race tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah.
And we've got the Grand Prix itself on Sunday. If he does that, he's home and dry. But McLaren clearly, of course, tripped up, for those who don't know, technically last weekend when they had a 2nd and 4th, I think it was, on the cards. But they found that the wear rate on the plank underneath the car, I don't want to get too technical, but that's there deliberately to keep a ride height, how far away the car is from the ground. Yeah. Any intrusion on that past a certain limit, it doesn't matter if it was 0.12 of a millimetre.
Yeah.
That's how tight it was. But rules are rules. So they got disqualified. So it's thrown Max Verstappen absolutely into the mix. And Max is like a saber-toothed tiger looking at a piece of steak. The guy is...
Because he has been there and done it. That's the difference, isn't it, really?
He has. But he is I don't always agree with some of the stuff he does, but he is a brilliant and formidable racing driver who will find opportunity. So you kind of feel as if there's Lando swimming along on the top of the sea and you've got dum dum, dum dum. You know what I mean? It's like a Jaws moment, but Verstappen's waiting to come and get him. I think that's the intrigue. So, but
it's good for the sport, isn't it? It's good to have that now, because at one point they seem to be running away with it, and he was well out of the picture, wasn't he?
Well, you've spotted. I mean, who on earth would have guessed that? But it's testament to Max and also to the Red Bull team when they really were outclassed at the beginning of the year by McLaren, and they've just worked and they've kept working and didn't take no for an answer, and that they're against the odds. They're now in with a shot. Now remember, Lando is 24 points in the lead, So there is a comfort there. But believe me, you're not going around thinking, I've got this wrapped up. This could go wrong like that.
Be interesting to see what Lewis Hamilton does. He probably isn't expecting too much.
Did you see the interview with him?
He said he's hated this season. He's not looking forward to next season. If you were Ferrari and paying him all that money, wouldn't be massively pleased. I mean,
I wonder if he should retire.
Finally, what have you made of what's gone on with him, Perry?
I think that he's suffered a little bit this year. I still personally refuse to say that Lewis is due for the driver's retirement home. I don't think he is. You're looking at his teammate. Your worst enemy in this game is actually your teammate. Because if you and I were teammates, and if you were dusting me by 0.1 of a second in qualifying for the next 4 Grand Prix, I look like a Wally, you look like the hero, and that's the separation for 0.1 of a second.
Yeah.
It's so tight in Formula One now that if you're 0.2, 0.3 off, you might not get through to final qualifying.
Yeah.
That means you're starting even further down the grid, which means you're in for more misery immediately.
Yeah.
So you're looking even worse. So it's a catalogue, it's a snowball of disaster, to be quite frank. I think Lewis has been caught out with that somewhat. He is somebody who we know wears his heart on his sleeve. He wears his heart on his sleeve because it means so much to him. It's just the investment that it takes for these guys to have won 7 world championships. Max is coming up possibly for his 5th. People don't realise that investment in being that great for that long, day in, day out.
It hurts him, clearly, doesn't it?
It's extraordinary.
You can see that,
So it hurts him. So I hope that Lewis and Ferrari find something to give him that new lease of life and that energy to come back.
Yeah, I think we'd all have to see that, definitely. Perry, lovely to see you. Thanks very much for coming in. You can find out more from Sixt, their mobility study. That's Perry McCarthy, the original Stig from Top Gear. Stan Collymore joins us next. We're going to talk a bit of Liverpool and more, and the Falls panel. You'll be sticking around for that.
Two young boys fans have been arrested after violence broke out amongst away supporters during their loss at Villa Park. Forward Donyell Marlon was struck on the head by an object during the first half. Sam Matterface was at the ground.
I saw punches being thrown by the supporters and one connected with a policeman's head that took his helmet off. So let's not pretend that this was the police trying to cause problems. There was a bloke who actually smashed up a seat, picked it up and then threw it.
Down under, meanwhile, there's no Cummins or Hazelwood again for the Aussies, so another golden opportunity for England to win, this time in Brisbane. And David Bumble-Lloyd has some advice for England's batters.
We're going to wear the bowlers down. These matches are coming thick and fast. And we're going to have an hour off and just play 2, 3 and over.
Back to the footy, and the FA has bid for the 2035 Women's World Cup to be hosted across the UK. Meanwhile, Eddie Howe's weighing up whether to replace Nick Pope with Aaron Ramsdale this weekend.
Depending on the style of goalkeeper, a lot changes and defenders in front get used to a style. So that's something for me to consider. Certainly rotating the goalkeeper position isn't something I want to do.
And Mike Tyndall's Rebel League R360 is postponing its launch by 2 years to 2028. There are reports it doesn't have the players or finances to get started. 8 leading Test nations and the Lions have banned anyone from playing international rugby if they sign up.
We've got the Falls panel coming up. We'll look to predict the scores of Tottenham Fulham, which is live on talkSPORT tomorrow evening. Crystal Palace versus Manchester United, which we'll bring you on Sunday lunchtime. And then we'll bring you updates of Chelsea Arsenal on Sunday afternoon. 03717 223344 if you want to be involved as our panel beater. But Stan Collymore joins us now. Good afternoon, Stan.
Andy, go on, have a gloat. But I'm gonna. I've done some research. You wouldn't expect me to do anything less. I've reached out to a physio, and there's also another player that had a similar injury, and I want to give you the prognosis on that. So, have a gloat first.
No, I'm not. Why would I?
He's obviously happy because Stan. If people don't know what's going on, Stan said it could be March before we see Cole Palmer again. And he's probably going to play out the weekend. So it's been a Lazarus-like recovery.
I never do gloating because of karma.
Yes.
You know, if I do that, he'll go and get injured, poor lad.
I think we're all in agreement that we wanted to see Cole Palmer play and be fit and whatever. So I contacted a physio. He's a Premier League physio. Fractures always take 4 to 6 weeks to heal. He'll be taking oral or injected painkillers for a few weeks, which obviously can create further problems if the toe gets stamped on. Risk of 1 step forward, playing games, versus 2 steps back, injury could worsen. Ankle boot in the meantime after games to deal with swelling. And so I had a look at other players that have had it done. Very briefly, Declan Rice played with one last year. Alexander Isak going back, Frank Lampard, John Terry, blah, 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 blah. But the interesting thing is that Alexander Isak's one. So he played with a broken toe for Newcastle. He'd had the break. He had 2 weeks off. Then he had a painkiller injection, and then he was out for another 3 weeks. And that's my only worry. The question I would ask to Chelsea's physios and staff that if it is a fracture, why risk him now for the potential for, he could be out for another 2 or 3 weeks, or they're having to manage it for 5 or 6 weeks. Anyway, I hope he's back. I hope he's fit. I hope he's well, and I'll take my medicine. He's back in November. It's not March. But I just don't like the idea of players playing with painkiller injections in 2025 either. So watch this space.
No, I agree with that. But I just wonder, I mean, I was thinking about this. I mean, if I was an Arsenal player, the first thing I'd do when he came...
Stamp on his toe?
Stamp on his foot. You would, wouldn't you? They're going to, aren't they? That's the thing.
I mean, it's a gentleman's game, Andy. I think you'll find professional footballers wouldn't do that.
No,
let's move on to one of your old clubs, Stan, Liverpool. It's been a hell of a week for them. I mean, that was pretty sobering, 4-1 at home to PSV. What's your take on it all?
Yeah, I mean, I think that firstly, there's a lot of people, a lot of pundits talking with hindsight about sort of what Liverpool's problems are and woes are. Let's start at the beginning. Arne Slot's going nowhere. Liverpool traditionally isn't a sacking club, and I think that they've created the whole hierarchy and structure to be able to say, we've got this guy in for the long term, and unless it's catastrophic, then, which it's not at the moment, yes, they're playing poorly, yes, there's individuals playing poorly, and the collective isn't playing well, then they'll give Arne Slot time to do the job. So we'll go around in this news cycle. You know, Jamie Carragher, one of my former teammates, said, you know, if he doesn't beat, I think Sunderland, Leeds and West Ham, he'll be gone. I don't think that'll be the case. In terms of the playing staff, when you break a British transfer record once, the focus is going to be on that player. And I always use my own experience of particularly that at Liverpool, breaking a British transfer record and going into a team where there's already the superstar and the legend. And that was the sort of burgeoning legend that was Robbie Fowler. And I remember talking to other players that have broken the transfer record, and you've effectively got to be top man. And if you're not top man there, then you've got to wait for the top man to go. Now, of course, Liverpool have got Mo Salah. He's top man at Liverpool Football Club. Then you've got Virgil van Dijk, legend. And so for Wirtz and Isak, it's been a little bit difficult, not just, I'm sure, trying to get into the way that the team plays, but also finding your place. You're expecting to be top man if they've paid a British record transfer for you. So I think that to a degree deals with some of their issues, is that they've yet to find their place at Liverpool Football Club, either with a dominant performance or a dominant series of performances. And then you look and you take a step back, and I think to myself, what did Liverpool need in this summer window? Did they need strikers? Could they have kept Darwin Núñez and Luis Diaz? Yes. Were they proven? Yes. Alongside Mo Salah and, of course, Cody Gakpo. The tragic passing of Diogo Jota meant that they needed a forward, but I think that they could have gone and spent 30, 40 million pounds on a, you know, you're looking at players like Liam Delap, of course, that went to Chelsea. That kind of player whereby you think he's up and coming, there's no pressure on him to be a superstar yet, but we can put him in and bring him out. And I don't think Liverpool did that. I remember saying to you a few weeks back that seeing the Liverpool social media about Isak and about Wirtz, it was the second coming. And for a club like Liverpool that's always been about the collective rather than Galacticos or individuals, I think that was problematic. They set those two players up for a fall if they didn't hit the ground running. The other obvious one is at the other end of the pitch. Now, they needed fullbacks, so they brought in two very capable fullbacks in terms of Kirkes. Nobody was disputing his numbers for Bournemouth. Frimpong was exceptional last season. But the issue for Liverpool for quite some time, Paul and Andy, has been what's going to happen when Virgil van Dijk goes? Nobody knows the answer to that question. And the other one was Konate, whether he was going to sign a new contract. Was he worth it? Was he going to go to Real Madrid? Did he have his head turned? And I just think that all the players that Liverpool have bought in, that everybody's now scratching their head how they're going to fit all of these forwards in. The one player that they desperately needed to play alongside Virgil van Dijk to get the best out of him, and particularly in his sort of later years in the game, to cover around for him a little bit more, to give him a new impetus, a new partner, was the one that they lost, and that was Mark Gray. So from my perspective, it's really simple. Liverpool now need to go back to basics. That will be keeping clean sheets, because I think that they have neglected and ignored the obvious. You keep clean sheets, that gives you an opportunity to win games, whereby those misfiring forwards can then go and nick a game 1-0. that might take a little bit of jiggery-pokery around the back four and bringing in, one or two new players and bringing players back and saying, like, we're going to re-emphasise defending. But there's no way Arne Slot's going, and I don't think there's any way he should go. If you win the Premier League in your first year, common sense and sanity would say that, and particularly you didn't have a massive transfer window, if you remember, in that first season, that you get the opportunity to see the season out bar a catastrophe. And when I say bar a catastrophe, I mean the kind of positions that Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur were in last season, which won't happen.
No, and they've got 3 winnable games, not easy games, winnable games. And if they do win those games, they'll be right back up there. And
I just think it's strange that I mean, it's a testament to modern footballers. We all go on about how great it was back in the day, in our particular era, whether playing or as fans. But the vast majority of players that go to any league hit the ground running. And it's just coincidence, I'm sure, because I think that the recruitment department, in terms of doing their homework on Wirtz and Isak, they were long-standing targets. So they knew the way that they played. And they knew the way that Liverpool played, and they knew that, or were hoping that the synergy between the two was going to work, was that it's not very often whereby we find 2 players at such a huge financial cost to a club that, let's be honest, doesn't often go out and break the British transfer record, that neither of them have hit the ground running. So it looks even more stark than the reality of what it is. But Liverpool have enough quality. But what they need to do now, Sunderland, Leeds and West Ham, 1-0, 1-0, 2-1, and just get through this period. And I think that there will still, if you look at the Premier League table, there's still so much football to play. And there are still so many teams in the mix to get in that top 3, top 4 positions.
And the fees do add pressure. Chelsea dropped 220 million on Caicedo and Fernandes. And it took
them a while.
It just does.
It does. I mean, say you've been there, Stan. You were that soldier.
Yes, it
so
does.
you feel it.
And it does, and it does make a big difference. And anybody saying it doesn't, I mean, I saw the Kevin Maguire that you guys obviously know very well, did the sort of pro rata on the sort of the inflation adjusted deal. And in Premier League history, Shearer's was, I think, 232 million would be now. Really? And mine was 216 million from Forest to Liverpool.
That signing on fee would have been nice, Stan, wouldn't it? 260 million.
I mean, it wasn't bad at the time, but it would have been much better now, for sure. I remember going to Anfield and it being asked the questions about the transfer fee, etc., when all you want to do is get your head down and play. But if you remember, we would remember watching our clubs, Tottenham, Villa, Chelsea, but particularly Liverpool back in the 70s when they were winning things, players would often sit on the bench for 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
Or play in the reserves and get to know the way that the team played. That's impossible now because on day one, and again, I felt a little bit strange watching it all pan out on a Liverpool social media feed. The way that the social media team built up Wirtz and Isak, 30 and 40 tweets in one day when they're signed, I thought, I wonder how Virgil van Dijk feels about this. I wonder how Mo Salah feels about this. I wonder how Cody Gakpo feels about this, who's never done anything other than a good service for Liverpool, but must be thinking, crikey, I'm not worth anything here. So, look, I think that Liverpool will get it right some way. It won't be enough to win the title this season. I think we all agree that Arsenal, set piece FC, ruthlessly efficient, are probably going to go on and win the title. But I think that the constant speculation about a manager's job at a club that doesn't willingly sack managers and that won the Premier League in his first season is very, very premature.
Stan Collymore with us. He's going to stick around for the Falls panellists coming up shortly. We're here with Toolstation. Check out Toolstation's unmissable deals, great offers on hundreds of trade brands. Next stop, Toolstation. Time then for the Falls panel. We're going to try and predict the scores of 3 big games this weekend. We'll get 3 points in the league table for getting them spot on, 1 for getting the outcome right, and out for getting it wrong. These are last week's performances. We've had the international. No, it was champion. Mad, yeah. Andy, 1 point for Andy last week. He stays on 15, rooted to the bottom of the table. Tony, the Spurs fan, 2 points for them. That's 18. Mid-table, me on 24. With the commentators, I got 1 last week. Commentators got 2. Good performance by Stan last week. He's now moved on to 30 points. He's 6 clear at the top. He's doing an Arsenal. But can he be caught? We'll find out. Let's say hello to our commentator, Nigel Adderley. Good afternoon, Nigel.
Afternoon, guys. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Me and you duking it out for the Champions League places. So what was your last performance like in this slot, Nigel? Can you remember?
I think I might have got a couple of points. It was one of those weeks where everybody predicted the same thing.
Yeah.
And I might have got the same outcome, but I didn't get the same result. So, mid-table mediocrity, which is just about right, really.
You've got Blues Watford you're doing for us on Monday, aren't you? A bit of championship football.
Yeah, the Troy Deeney derby. So it's appropriate. I've got Troy Deeney alongside me to do the game on talkSPORT too. So it should be terrific, because obviously Birmingham now are suddenly starting to challenge at the right side of the table. Watford are also around there as well. And look, the championship in December, there's about 22 of the 24 teams who probably think they can still get promoted. So
absolutely,
it's going to be good fun.
Nigel's got a nice kitchen, you did.
Yeah, we like it. We're liking the look of your kitchen, Nigel. Very nice. You have to give us your card of your fitter. Andrew, the Manchester United fan. Hi, Andrew.
Afternoon, gents. Are you okay?
Yeah, how you feeling about life at the moment, Andrew?
I'm feeling a bit uncomfortable with Stan Collymore there. I was behind the goal when he tore Bruce and Pallister apart back in December '94. I've still got PTSD to this day. But it was some goal.
He did that to a few teams, really. So
yeah, he did it to us. But they're quite, all right. There's a lot of obviously around the manager, but I'm very much now stick with him.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Yeah, you've got to. Anyway, let's get underway. Yeah. Stan, you kick us off. Tomorrow evening, Tottenham-Fulham. How'd you see it?
A couple of stats ahead of the game. Spurs winless in the last 3 against Fulham. Fulham have the fewest away points in the Premier League 1, and Spurs have the second fewest home points. 5 after Wolves with 1. You could argue it's going to be a bit of a bore fest, but I think there's going to be a reaction. I'm thinking to myself as a player, Saturday night, under the lights, on telly, everybody's watching, a reaction from the home side. I think this is going to be fairly comfortable for Spurs. I'm going Spurs 3, Fulham 1.
Oh, okay. 3-1, says Stan, to Spurs. Nigel?
I agree with Stan. I think that Tottenham will win. I think that Fulham at the moment, they're funny. They've got some talented players, but they're not getting the results. I think Tottenham will sort themselves out at home. I think in the long term, Thomas Frank will sort them out. I think we saw some good things the other night, but obviously some very bad things at the other end. But I think it'll be a 2-0 victory.
2-0 victory. I'd already written down 3-1. I just want to see a bit more of a positive outlook in selection as well. I don't want to see Bentancur and Pauline. You can have one of them sitting there, probably Pauline.
Val and Gray did well, didn't they?
They did, yeah. A bit more dynamism in midfield would be nice. Cullen Wiley's starting him, and Richarlison seemed to have a bit of a balance. I want to see Simon start. Just get a bit more front foot at home. That would make a big difference. I've already written 3-1. I'm surprisingly confident for a team that shipped 9 goals in a week, but Andrew, the Manchester United fan, what do you think?
I was going to go 3-1 as well. I can't do that. I will go for a high-scoring, entertaining 3-2 to Spurs.
3-2, yeah. Look, I wouldn't be at all surprised. Andy?
Yes, Conor Mooney, I think, will score. He looks better. Fulham, not so great away from home. I'm going 2-1. No one else has gone with that.
Okay, 2-1. He saw an in there, Andy, with a doable scoreline.
Yeah.
To try and get up the table.
I'll be massively surprised if it's a draw, though, but there we go.
TalkSPORT listeners home in the car. Palace versus Manchester United. So, Stan, what about this one?
Crystal Palace have won 3 out of the last 4 against United. United have failed to score in their last 4 against Crystal Palace. And Manchester United's away record is not good. Won 3 of the last 26 Premier League away games. Plus the 12 p.m. Sunday, players got to get up super early, Sunday yawn. A slim, narrow victory for Crystal Palace, 2-1.
2-1, says Stan. What about you, Nigel?
I think Palace will win. I think there'll be a reaction to what happened last night. I mean, they should have won that game. They missed so many chances against Strasbourg, but in the end, it cost them, and it's cost them in Europe so far. They've still got some work to do going into the last couple of games in the Conference League. But I think that United, as Stan said, not great away from home, and I think Palace will do it 2-1.
2-1. I'm working on the basis that week off may be advantageous. We've seen that at times with Manchester United not having midweek games. And, yeah, they should have won last night, Palace, but they've still got the travelling. I think this might be a draw. I'm going to go 2 each. Andrew, the Manchester United fan.
Yeah, you stole my thunder there. I was going to go 2-2 as well. After Monday's debacle, shall we say, I can see it being a draw. Yeah, I'll go 2 each.
2 each, says Andrew and Andy.
I think I feel slightly for United because Cunha and Šeško were going well with Mbeumo. They started to look good. Then they lose both of them. Then they suddenly look like they've got nothing up front again. So, but that's a big disadvantage for Palace. That's such a short turnaround, 12 o'clock Sunday after playing in France away.
Yeah.
So I'll go 1-1.
1-1, says Andy. TalkSport listeners home in the car, on the tractor, Cowpack, Chris. And Sunday afternoon, Sam Matterface, Dean Ashton, Perry Groves be right across Chelsea, Arsenal. Stan.
Blues have won one of the last 11 against the Gunners. Arsenal beaten in 6 at the Bridge, but Chelsea have opened the scoring in their last 7 Premier League games. I don't think there'll be anything on the day to split the teams. Chelsea 1, Arsenal 1.
Okay. Nigel.
I agree with Stan. I think it'll be 1-1. I think that the way Arsenal are at the moment, it's not necessarily a game they have to win, but I think they would like to win because there's always that nagging doubt about what they do away from home in the really big games. And of course, this is a really big game now, as it always is, but I can't see them getting 3 points. 1-1.
1-1. I've gone for the draw. I see more goals, maybe because Gabriel's not there, and I'm sure Nkapia will get a bit more of a workout than he did against Spurs last week. I'm going to go 2 each. Andrew.
Having watched Arsenal over the past few weeks, I can see them necking this 2-1.
2-1, the Arsenal. Andy, you'll be there. What do you reckon?
It's been 2-2 the last 2 seasons. Last year was a cracking game. I feel it's the best Chelsea can do, to be honest.
What, a draw?
They're so good, Arsenal. It's ludicrous. But I need the points. I've got to be loyal, so I'm going to go for a 3-2 to Chelsea.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. That sounds like a corker. TalkSport listeners.
I think it's going to be a great game. I can't see it not being.
Andrew, good to talk to you. Have a good weekend.
Cheers, up the Villa, Stan.
There we are. Thank you, Nigel.
Well, Stan, definitely.
Yeah. We'll hear from you on Monday night, Nigel.
Cheers, guys. Have a good weekend.
Thanks very much. This Nigel Addy, Birmingham, Watford, alongside Troy Dean, the Troy Deeney derby, of course. Yeah, Stan, just very, very quickly, because we're nearly out of time. Villa are going well, aren't they? We were just saying off air, myself and Andy, if they'd made a decent start, they'd be right up there.
Yeah, Daniel Mullen in particular doing well. He was one of the disappointments at the beginning of the season. If we can get a tune out of Guessand that's been hit and miss since he came to the club, then we've got a chance. Of course, Ollie Watkins needs to find his scoring boots. Where would we be if he did? Bragging rights this weekend, Villa against Wolves. I'm going to see all of my mates off. All 4 of them will be in the away end, season ticket holders at the Molineux. So up the Villa.
Nice one. Cheers, Stan. All the best. Stan Collymore, who joined us.
A chance for Villa to make some ground if Arsenal and Chelsea do draw. So
indeed. So still to come, we're going to hear from the gaffers ahead of the weekend's games. Todd Macklin's got some interesting stuff. We had all the Thanksgiving football yesterday. And Stockport County's head chef, John Rose, will join us. He has produced a Christmas dinner in a cup for under £5. It's a thing of beauty.
It is.
And he will talk us through it in a few moments' time.
talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van Range. Score a winning hat-trick of performance, payload and price. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
Good afternoon, I'm Toby Gillis. What a game to return for. Enzo Maresca has revealed that Cole Palmer is fit and could even start for Chelsea against Arsenal on Sunday. He's not played at all since September thanks to a groin injury, and his return was delayed by a fractured toe in a freak incident at home. 7 points from the next 3 or the sack. That's the view on Arne Slot from Jamie Carragher, who's written in The Telegraph today that anything less against West Ham, Sunderland and Leeds will make an unacceptable situation untenable. Nuno Espirito Santo certainly expects a proper test at London Stadium on Sunday.
In football, what matters is what you do in the day. So what we expect is the champions of the Premier League players that talented and capable of doing good things. So we have to get ready.
Now, has Nick Pope suffered at Newcastle because of the arrival of competition for the number 1 spot? Eddie Howe admits he is considering replacing his keeper with Aaron Ramsdale and hinted it'd be a permanent call if he does. But their ex-keeper Tim Krul told H&J it might have been Ramsdale's signing that has caused Pope's loss of form.
I like competition, but I agree with you. I prefer to be the out-and-out number 1 and having that trust of your manager that you are able to make 1 or 2 mistakes. But again, you're challenging on 4 competitions, Champions League on a Thursday, then playing on a Sunday. One little injury, you need a top goalkeeper to step in.
Man United's planned new stadium, as well as Wrexham's redeveloped Stoke Kairas and Birmingham's new ground, have been included in the whole of UK bid to host the Women's World Cup in 2035. Old Trafford in its current guise is on the 22 stadium list, while Chelsea could be added if a consultation into a new ground falls in that direction.
talkSPORT News.
NHS advisors are expected to rule against a mass screening programme for prostate cancer in the UK, and a robber who kicked and punched a pensioner to death will spend at least 23 years in prison. More from the news team at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Get 10% off 2 or more premium tyres in our Black Friday event. Don't miss out and book today at quickfit.com and drive away happy every time. Conditions apply.
Showers moving southeastwards all day. Some will be thundery. Sunny skies in between, with the southeast of England generally staying dry. Fresher than yesterday with some wind.
Good afternoon, Paul Hawksbee, Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT. A little bit later on this hour, Todd Macklin will join us, our man on American sports, all the mayhem from the Thanksgiving Day NFL football. I'm just going to ask the producer to close the studio door because we're going to get a lot of noise otherwise from next door, and they're quite sweary next door. So it's just as well. Thank you very much. Yes, so we're going to be hearing from Todd Macklin, some interesting stuff, clips of the week, and the press conferences, the gaffers. We've got a decent array of managers ahead of the big games this weekend. But Stockport County fans. Notts County fans don't care.
Well, they don't do Christmas puddings in a cup.
It's a long way to go from. It's a long way to go from, relatively speaking, Nottingham to Stockport. But Stockport County fans will be pleased to hear that back on the Christmas menu is the Christmas dinner in a cup.
Looks like such a quality product.
It does.
Believe it.
If that's what it looks like when they're served individually, the Stockport County fans are in for a treat. There was a picture of it in the papers today.
Crispy potato, really well cooked sprouts. You can tell the lovely pigs in blanket, bit of turkey, the gravy. It's all there.
It's all in a cup.
Incredible.
For under £5. How do they make it work? Let's have a chat with John Rose, the Stockport County head chef. Hello, John.
Oh, guys, you okay?
Yeah, good.
Well done.
I'm sure we've spoken to you about this, but this is not the first time. This is not your first rodeo, is it, John?
It's not, I'm afraid. No, I've done it a few times now.
I'm just cost effectiveness. I expect to get normally, fleeced when I go to a football match. But this looks like quality fare at a good price.
It is quality fare. Like I say, it's a little bit more than last year. We had to £5 this year, rather under a £5, but it's still quality. It's all fresh produce, bought in, made fresh on the day, produced in the courtyard by the chef out there, and it's absolutely superb. It's a great dish.
Is it a bit of a loss leader for you in some ways? You're probably not making a lot on it, are you?
Not making loads, but sometimes it's not about making the money. It's about making sure the actual fans are happy.
Yeah. I imagine they have sold well in the past. You have them queuing around the block.
They've flown out. They've absolutely flown out. And we look at this year with the cup game as well. We've got 3 matches for it this year as well.
Brilliant.
So looking forward to it.
How important is stuff like this for the club at sort of League One level? I mean, I'm sure it is. It's important, isn't it, to be raising money from stuff like this?
Of course, it's important to get these things out, but it's also important for the actual fans who are coming, because Stockport County is quite a family-orientated club.
Yeah.
It's good to get the actual full families in, the kids involved and things like that as well. So it gets the fans in.
Yeah, and you do give it a lot of thought. I'm just looking at your website now, because you're at home Boxing Day. So first time since 2022.
Yes.
You have lined up the leftover Christmas curry bowl.
Exactly.
Nice.
And it's going to be an absolute feast. And it's all topped with a lovely sprout on top of that.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Honestly, I've got about 10 people for Christmas lunch. I think I'm going to buy 10 of these and just give them that.
Just put them in a cup. That's it.
It saved me an absolute fortune.
So the leftover curry bowl, this make you hungry. Juicy Cheshire turkey meat, mini roast potatoes, curry spice root veg in a mild coconut, turmeric and coriander curry sauce, topped with mint yoghurt and baby sprouts. This is sensational.
A lot better fare than we get at the bridge, I have to tell you.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, maybe the fact you can be that, at your level with respect, you can be that little bit bolder, a little bit more adaptable. I mean, we're both in the mincing machine of the Premier League, and they probably can't be quite as adaptable as you can be.
We can sort of take our time a little bit and spend a bit more time doing it, because we're not doing the actual thousands of numbers on the hospitality. We are doing up to 1,000 every match day on hospitality.
Yeah.
But we can take a little bit more time in doing things like that as well.
Other things on offer. You can have the foot-long pig in blanket, Andy.
Wow.
Not so bad. In the brioche hot dog roll with your caramelised onions. Pulled Cheshire turkey in a warm bovril and brandy gravy. Topped with cranberry. It feels like an M&S advert.
Classy grub.
Cranberry mayo and crispy onions. Well, I mean, you're making me hungry, if nothing else.
Tremendous.
So, when's this making its debut then, John?
It comes out tomorrow.
Oh, lovely.
The actual cup and the dog make its debut tomorrow.
Fantastic.
Out for 2 days, and then the curry comes out on, like I say, on Boxing Day.
That's it. Yeah, I've got it. That's right. Yeah, a Christmas dinner in a cup and festive dog tomorrow. The Cambridge game, 6th of December. It's all out there for that. And then you've got your leftover curry for Boxing Day. Brilliant.
Exactly.
Keep up the good work, John. Thanks very much for joining us.
My pleasure. Take care, guys.
There we are. There's John Rose there, the Stockport County head chef.
Yeah, I mean, you'd expect, you can buy TV dinner sort of roasts, and you thought, well, when you hear about it, you think it'll be something like, but when you look at it, you think you can see
nice. It's been beautifully photographed, doesn't it?
It does. Quality.
Yeah, it's well done to him. It's really nice. I mean, I don't know if my lot have got anything specially planned for Christmas. I doubt it very much.
I promise you it won't be £4.50.
No, exactly. So, still to come, Tom Macklin's going to join us. But, of course, 4 o'clock this afternoon, you will not have the opportunity to win that trip to Vegas. We should let you know the countdown is on. So, just over 45 minutes. It's your last chance to kick off 2026 by winning an epic trip to Vegas, thanks to our friends at Virgin Hotels Las Vegas. You and a best mate could be checking in to a luxury spa, having just stepped off the upper class flight from London to Vegas. And you're going to have 4 incredible nights at Virgin Hotels Las Vegas, and then you can go off and watch the Raiders take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and you'll get £5,000 to spend while you're there. Nice. So clear your calendar from the 2nd of January to the 7th of January 2026, because nothing starts a new year like Vegas. As we said, just over 45 minutes to enter. Good luck.
21 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text WIN to 83338. Text at £2 plus standard network rates. Bill payer's permission required. Or call 03434239761. Calls are charged at standard rate. All entries must be received by the 28th of November at 4 p.m. This is a network promotion. Run across talkSPORT, Virgin Radio UK and Talk. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
Yeah.
And talking of the Chiefs, they didn't have a particularly good Thanksgiving, as we're about to discover. I think it was 3 games yesterday. I mean, yes, they've got a Black Friday game today. Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I know. Anyway, Tom Macklin's going to join us. There's a bit of culinary chat there as well, actually, with Todd, because turkey and variants of it are pretty front and centre around all the Thanksgiving games. So we're going to have a chat with Todd Macklin on American Sports very shortly in the Clips of the Week coming up at 3:30. We're here with Toolstation. Check out Toolstation's unmissable deals, great offers on hundreds of trade brands. Next stop, Toolstation. Time then to enter the world of American sports once again with our man Todd Macklin. Good afternoon, Todd.
Hi, boys.
Well, we had all the Thanksgiving football yesterday. We're getting to that situation where we start thinking about who's going to make the playoffs and who isn't. And some of the sides that you imagine would be nailed on are struggling a bit, including the Kansas City Chiefs, who were beaten again, Todd.
Yeah, pretty incredible what the Dallas Cowboys have done the last, I think, 5 days or so. They beat both the Eagles, came back from 21 down to beat the Eagles 4 or 5 days ago, and then at home yesterday beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I was surprised that Dallas's defense was able to get stops at the right times against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes threw 4 touchdown passes, didn't throw an interception, and lost, and that had not happened before. So listen, kudos to Dallas. They're on a heater right now, and they feel pretty good about themselves. They're still on the outside of the playoff picture, but they're heading in the right direction. Where the Chiefs, on the other hand, Patrick Mahomes said after the game, we basically have to win out to give ourselves a chance to get into the playoffs. And that's a pretty crazy thought with 5 weeks after this week that the Chiefs are going to have to run the table just for a chance to make the playoffs.
I imagine the TV audiences for these games, Todd, are absolutely massive, aren't they?
Well, they are, because all the other leagues don't put any of their games right up against the NFL. They kind of realize this is the NFL's day, right? They have the games at 1 o'clock and 4:30 and 8 o'clock. So none of the other leagues even dare put a game up against the NFL. Thanksgiving is NFL Day.
It's interesting. Sorry, Andy.
Does it cause problems in families, though? Because you've got this Thanksgiving meal. Has it got to be fitted in between the football?
Great. It's a great question, Andy. And I was watching some things yesterday. And it is like there's a lot of people that talk about, when you should have your dinner. I think a lot of it depends on if your favorite team are playing in those games, right? If you're a Packers or Lions fan, you have your dinner after the game at some point. And judging by yesterday, if you're a Packers fan, the dinner tasted great. If you're a Lions fan, it didn't, right? But it gets tricky, right? Like if your team was the 8 o'clock, if you were a Ravens or a Bengals fan, the game's at 8, so you're having dinner early to make sure you finish. And if you were a Cowboys or a Chiefs fan, again, with a 4:30 game ends around 7 or 8, you either have to make a decision. You have a very early dinner, right? So it finishes by 4:30, or you're eating at, 8 o'clock after the game.
You mentioned the Dallas Cowboys, and Jerry Jones, the owner, emerged to chat to the press, clutching a turkey leg. That's a bit of a recurring theme, as you often see the players tucking into a turkey after the game, holding the leg if they've won, or a turducken, which is a chicken inside a duck, inside a turkey. And it's obviously he's got a life beyond football, but it was John Madden, the coach and the man who lent his name to that incredible game, EA Sports game, that kind of got the turducken front and centre in the world of football. It's quite a thing, isn't it?
It is an absolute thing. You get the win. You win the game, which obviously is very important this time of year. But to get the turducken is, right, like it's like the big crowning achievement by winning your games on Thanksgiving. And you're right, Madden, right, with the turducken, he made it a thing. You see it still celebrated. It's it's a credit that people still respect, how big a deal John Madden was and how big a deal he made the turducken. That, it was celebrated yesterday, and in the different games, like I saw a bit of the late game, and they did a special segment on John Madden. Andy Reid was talking about how much he admired John Madden. So even all this time later, John Madden still celebrated on Thanksgiving. His legacy continues.
Now, if you're going to the games on Thanksgiving, you want feeding. And we were just chatting there to John, the Stockport County head chef, about what he's laying on for Christmas. The Detroit Lions laid on waffle fries topped with turkey, cheese, gravy, cranberry and onion.
Marvellous.
So, yeah, they do kind of special Thanksgiving menus, don't they, for if you're going to the game?
They absolutely do, because, again, you're right, for people who couldn't have their Thanksgiving dinner before, after, they're having it at the game with the waffle fries and all the trimmings, right? and listen, as a Canadian, you know, Christmas is the big holiday, but in the U.S., I've talked to so many different people from the U.S., they say that Thanksgiving is bigger than Christmas in the U.S., and that's why yesterday, and the sports and the food and the music, everything just makes it part of the big day, the big time.
The halftime show is a big thing on the Thanksgiving days. In Detroit, they had Jack White from the White Stripes, and Eminem rocked up.
And he looks so cool. I was looking at him this morning. He was wearing a baseball cap and a hood. I'd look such a nana if I wore that.
He's done he's dyed the beard black. Yeah, or maybe he didn't have to. I don't know. But Eminem was. I think we might bring you a little bit of that later on. We can show you some of the footage. But the crowd was going absolutely nuts. It was impressive stuff. Now we're going to move on to college football. A story that Aaron Andrew McKenna alerted me to, and there's two stories this week from the world of college football. The salaries involved for the coaches in college football. Listen to this. James Franklin has just signed a new deal. He's gone to Virginia Tech. It's a 5-year deal. This is college football. This is not the This is not the NFL.
Yeah, but look at the money in it.
$42 million 5-year contract that is sort of backloaded, which means I think in his final year he's going to make about $13 million.
If you're a history teacher at Virginia Tech, you don't get that.
No, if you do, that is very true. And then coupled with that, LSU, they fired Brian Kelly. It's been decided that he was fired without cause, which means they have to pay up the remainder of his 10-year contract, which is $54 million.
Ridiculous.
$54 million to walk away, Todd. I mean, that's nuts money, isn't it, in college sport?
It is, but college football is on another planet with respect to the money that it generates. And that tells you something about Kelly as a coach, that they'd rather pay you $54 million not to coach there, right? Like, that tells you we do not want you. And James Franklin was just fired by Penn State because they just couldn't stop losing. So think about that. You know, he's in Penn State, and he did a great job of turning that program around, but just had a terrible year. And despite being a bad coach in Penn State for this year, he got the 8-year the 5-year, $42 million deal.
Yeah.
And again, college football in the U.S. is just so massive, and maybe just a run below the NFL in terms of popularity and the money it generates.
Oh, yeah. By the way, he also got James Franklin $5 million, which Penn owed him still. So he got $5 million for getting the sack on top of the $42 million as well.
Nice.
Now, we talked a lot about the WNBA and the success of women's basketball and the eyes on it and the big audiences and Caitlin Clark, etc. And I was reading that they're trying desperately to establish a strong women's pro league in the world of baseball. They've just recently had the first draft. They've got high hopes that for about the first time in 70 years, they're going to get a bit of a hold with women's baseball.
It's interesting because women play softball,
in
college, very high level.
But I think looking at the success of WNBA has made them think. It's just 4 franchises at the moment: Boston, New York, LA and San Francisco. But they're hoping to grow it. And it's interesting that it's not really taken off before. Do you give it much of a chance at all, Todd?
I give it a chance now, right? I just think in the environment we're in, with the opportunity that women's sports has, right? As you said, on the back of the WNBA, I think this is the time to do it, right? I think it has a chance. If it has a chance, this is probably the best time. You've got, like, Whoopi Goldberg, the actor and TV host, she's part of a women's sports channel. So you have these women's sports channel that needs content. So the Women's Baseball League has a chance to get there, right? And if you get on you get on these platforms, at least it gets you a chance to reach a potential audience.
Is there a women's league in Japan where the sport's big, or in Cuba or other places like that, Todd?
I think Korea. I thought I'd heard Japan or Korea does have a women's baseball league. Yes, and it's just right, especially in Asia, especially in Japan, right, with just the men's baseball stars, right, that have become such a big deal.
Yeah.
And baseball is the number one sport in Japan. So I think those Asian countries for women's sports, again, it does have an opportunity there.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll play out with a little bit of Jack White and Eminem, his special guest in Detroit in the halftime show. We'll catch up with you next week, Todd.
See you, boys.
Gentlemen, Detroit's own Eminem.
Two Young Boys fans have been arrested after violence broke out amongst away supporters during their loss at Villa Park. Forward Donyell Marlon was struck on the head by an object during the first half. Sam Matterface was at the ground.
I saw punches being thrown by the supporters and one connected with a policeman's head that took his helmet off. So let's not pretend that this was the police trying to cause problems. There was a bloke who actually smashed up a seat, picked it up and then threw it
Down under, meanwhile, there's no Cummins or Hazelwood again for the Aussies, so another golden opportunity for England to win, this time in Brisbane. And David Bumble-Lloyd has some advice for England's batters.
We're going to wear the bowlers down. These matches are coming thick and fast. And we're going to have an hour off and just play 2, 3 and over.
Back to the footy, and the FA has bid for the 2035 Women's World Cup to be hosted across the UK. Meanwhile, Eddie Howe's weighing up whether to replace Nick Pope with Aaron Ramsdale this weekend.
Depending on the style of goalkeeper, a lot changes and defenders in front get used to a style. So that's something for me to consider. Certainly rotating the goalkeeper position isn't something that I want to do.
And Mike Tyndall's Rebel League R360 is postponing its launch by 2 years to 2028. There are reports it doesn't have the players or finances to get started. 8 leading Test nations and the Lions have banned anyone from playing international rugby if they sign up.
Of the week on talkSPORT with Toolstation. Proudly behind the trades that work so hard for the nation. Next stop, Toolstation.
talkSPORT clips of the week.
Yes, here we go then. Clips of the week once again, and we kick off, as we often have over the years, with Alan Brazil on breakfast, proving once again that he has a real problem with the name Phoebe.
We're very pleased to welcome NFL analyst for talkSPORT and Sky Sports, Phoebe Schechter. Phoebe, a very, very good Phoebe. Sorry, Phoebe. I don't know where I'm getting Phoebe from.
Every time she's come on, he's called her Phoebe.
He's got a real phobia about that name.
He's got a proper phobia about it, hasn't he? Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
Phoebe. Very strange.
Yeah, a bit unfair on Alan.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was just a one-off.
One-off, yeah.
Let's bring in a man who was at the game last night, no stranger to the championship, former Stoke striker, of course. It's Chris Alumo. Alumo.
No, that's not right either, Alan.
Not Alumo. No, that's what that was all about.
Alumo.
Yeah, but and then I think he blamed the production team. He said, "Why did you spell it like that?" Well, that's his name. I mean, really? How else are you going to spell it? This is newsread. She just left us, Emma Kerwin, with exciting news from the music world.
Tom Jones is going to headline Carfest 2026. He joins Jessie J and Nile Rodgers and Chick on the lineup.
Nile Rodgers and Chick.
Sound like a ventriloquist.
It does a bit. Nile Rodgers and Chick. Back in the Gox. Yeah, I used to love Chick. They were marvellous.
They were. And we had a radio first on talkSPORT this week when a caller to the sports bar's voice broke mid-chat.
His voice broke mid-chat, that's true.
He wants to come on. It's up to you.
Hello.
Oh, who's that? Who's that? Hello.
How you getting on, Jamie?
It can happen.
How did that happen?
Round 15, that clanging sound you hear. There we are. Voice broke during. Do you want to hear that again? Can we bring that to people again so they can get the full effect of a quite historic medical moment? Here we go.
He wants to come on. It's up to you.
Hello.
Oh, who's that? Who's that? Hello.
How you getting on, Jamie?
Yeah, and then he became a man. It's a beautiful thing. So this is Sam Matterface talking Liverpool.
Meanwhile, a week to save his Liverpool job, but hyperbole or realism around Arne Slot?
You've been to the hyperbole.
I love the hyperbole. It comes a week after the Super Bowl.
It is. It's bigger, but no one really talks about it, do they?
No.
And it's you, isn't it?
It is. It's Alan Biggs now with team news from last weekend's Sheffield Derby, proving once again how close our reporters get to the action.
It's the same team as per a 0-0 draw with QPR recently. Cooper in goals, Tariki, Tanganga, me and McCallum at the back.
It's impressive, isn't it, that he still gets a game out.
Oh, call him Ben Me.
I think it's an unwritten rule, isn't it?
You got to.
It's obviously shooting fish in a barrel, isn't it?
It is.
I love Ben Me, as Neil Warnock used to say. Back to Big Alan with an odd question for co-host Ali McCoist.
It is Thanksgiving. Do you celebrate that?
No. He's not big on Diwali either, really. What? He's Scottish. Ali, no. Although he probably does Diwali. He goes and sees his mate, Mr. Singh, doesn't he? I would imagine. He probably does.
Okay. Yes. This is Simon Jordan's tribute to Ronnie Barker and his role as Arkwright in the classic sitcom Open All Hours.
You shouldn't have fans penned into a stadium with toilets that are overflowing because they aren't fit for purpose. So if you take all of those things and produce out an outcome, you've got an unsatisfactory set of circumstances.
Fetch a cloth, Granville. You certainly have.
That was really strange.
Yeah, it was very, very odd.
Yeah.
Actually, if anything should ever happen to me, Andy, I don't want you asking Simon's co-host Jim White to break the bad news.
It has just gone 12:30 this Thursday lunchtime. It's Jim White. It is Spencer Oliver. Simon has departed, I'm delighted to say.
Blimey. Doesn't really cushion the blow, does he? Bit on the nose.
Brilliant, isn't it? Now, it's a concerned Rangers fan calling the sports bar.
You suffered quite a bit through Spurs, but it's who we are, mate. It's who we are, mate, you know. But at the end of the day, absolutely diabolical, and a few players just need to wake up and smell the cheese.
Right, what happened to coffee?
No, I think I prefer to smell the coffee at the cheese. But just one more from Alan Brazil alongside Ali McCoist, proving himself yet again to be the ultimate company man.
What do you fill me up?
Have I got a radio station for you?
That's brilliant.
You like this?
Oh, I love that.
Boom Radio.
Yeah?
Oh, get yourself a bit of Boom Radio.
Where does that come from?
In the Bentley, you'll love it.
Where does that come from? Where did you hear that?
It's all 60s and 70s. It's brilliant.
Is it?
Boom Radio. Try it.
Tremendous.
It's like an advert.
You mentioned Ken Bruce on Boom Radio going, you must listen to Alan Brazil on talkSPORT.
Alan Brazil, Ali McCoist when you're in the Bentley. I mean... But honestly, that sign-off, Boom Radio, try it. It's just, copywriter couldn't have written it. They're nothing to do with us, by the way. You're thinking, they're sisters. No, they're nothing. They're effectively competition for one of our sisters. No, please.
He likes it specifically between 1 and 4. It's
1
his
and 4.
favourite
Well, he
time
did
for Boom
once
Radio.
say, when I'm going home after the show, I do love a bit of classic FM. He's been such a company man.
Oh, tremendous,
Anyway, anything else, Andy?
Yes, we had a couple of talkSPORT regulars making quite odd noises this week. First, Ray Parlour with Big Alan on breakfast.
You know, having a go at the cameraman, having a go at some of the opposition players that come off the pitch. I'm just thinking he's maybe getting... He's thinking too much, Ray.
There we are. It's a bit of an odd noise there. Bit of an odd noise from Ray. And then Steve Harmison was with Adrian Durham during Matchday Live.
Well, it's Newcastle Man City at 5:30. It says here Steve Harmison's there. I thought Steve Harmison would be busy with the cricket. How's it going, Harmy? All right?
Adrian.
There we are. So, both good noises.
That's such a classic Adrian, isn't it?
Yeah. Wind up. Both good noises, but which was better?
Thinking too much, Ray. Thinking too much, Ray.
Yeah.
Thinking too much,
You never
Ray.
know. I'll have what he's having. So there we are. That was the clips of the week.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't really, does it? Honestly, Boom Radio, try it.
It's fun.
Billy Farris. We should thank everybody who suggested clips this week that were played. Billy Farris, Stuart Armour, Colin Pepp, Glyn Barrington, Paul McGroin. There we are. Steve Pye, Ian Scammell, Tommy Daz from Newcastle, Jez Dobbs, Andrew West, Dave Clark, Michael Fawcett, John Hamill, Izzy Taplan. I know you want me to say, is it a plan? It's Izzy Taplan. So thanks to everybody who suggested clips this week. If you do hear a clip on talkSPORT over the next week, please do send it in to us, talksport.com. I can't get over that Alan clip. Talksport.com, text to 81089, tweet to TSH&J. We just need a day and a time when you heard it go out, and we got a fighting chance then.
Hey, Connor Whelan. Did we mention Connor Whelan? Because he sent me the Chris.
Oh, thank you very much, Connor, as well. Yeah, we've added him to the list. And if you want to hear the clips of the week again, those clips, or indeed a whole raft of previous ones, are available in the Clips of the Week podcast feed, wherever you get your podcasts. And the H&J Daily with some of the best bits of this afternoon's show. That will be available a little bit later on. We spoke to, if you missed it, we spoke to the Stockport County chef who has produced a Christmas dinner in a cup for under a fiver. Brilliant. Stan Collymore was very enlightening on Liverpool. Tim Krul joined us for a chat. He was going to pull the gloves and the boots back on. He was telling us why and had some interesting stuff on Newcastle. So a lot of good stuff to bring you in the H&J Daily podcast today. Again, that's available wherever you get your podcasts. So we'll hear from the gaffers ahead of the weekend's big games. That's coming up very shortly. But for now, that was the Clips of the Week with our very good friends at Toolstation.
Clips of the Week on talkSPORT with Toolstation. Proudly behind the trades that work so hard for the nation. Next stop, Toolstation.
Now, before things get underway at Ali Pali, let's not forget that we bring you the talkSPORT Darts Trophy. It's back for 2025. Excuse me. Once again, we'll be hosting. We're looking forward to it.
It's been a lot of fun the last
Wednesday, 10th of December from 1 p.m. 8 talkSPORT presenters go head-to-head on the hockey. Got bigger and better this year with 2 talkSPORT promotion companies managing the talent, apparently. What about that? Alan Brazil, Ali McCoist and Jeff Stelling heading up Tipple 20 Promotions. And they have the defending champion, Dean the Storyteller Saunders. So there was me. Natalie the Destroyer Sawyer, who saw off Benty last year. Gabby the Gab Father Agbon Lahore. Jamie the Chunk O'Hara. And there's also Jim and Simon's Flight and Jordan Limited, whose stable includes Drive Time's Andy Galforce Goldstein and Darren the Truth Bent, plus Jermaine the Saint Pennant and Jason One Bull Cundy. So, yes, so there we are.
Name, really.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, we're looking forward to it. So the 10th of December from 1 o'clock on this show, we'll be hosting the darts once again, all the action. Dino, he's very good, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
But we'll see what happens.
But we know Benty's been practicing all year.
So he has. Well, him and Andy have been put a lot of practice in, so no excuses. Anyway, let's move on then to hear from some of the managers ahead of the weekend's games. Let's kick off with Pep Guardiola. Made a lot of changes.
We didn't try. So
oh, blimey.
In football, when you play on the green, so you have to try things that we didn't try. That's all. So, yeah, maybe I'll have a theory to rotate. You have to rotate because it's impossible to sustain. But I thought I have a lot of confidence of them. Still, right now, I have a lot. I have a huge value of what they are as a football players, and that, or maybe it's higher than I think about them, or than them themselves. So, and yeah, it was a good lesson for me. So even with quite experience as a manager, I have a good lesson for me for the future.
Yeah, there we are with City. Every time you think they're kind of back, then they've just lost 2 in a row.
But I mean, he did make a lot of changes.
Yeah. No,
which is always difficult when you make that many. It's always very disjointed.
I still think they'll be right up there at the end.
They're at home tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock to Leeds United. Spurs play at 8 live on talkSPORT against Fulham. They've suffered back-to-back defeats. Thomas Frank has a message for the fans ahead of the fixture against Fulham.
And I promise you, we will do everything we can to deliver, and we will do everything we can to come flying out, to be positive, intense, energetic, forward. But I'm also pretty sure that Fulham will do everything they can to avoid that. But it's our job to make sure that we perform. And if we perform well, we've got a very good chance to win the game.
It has to be reflected in the lineup and the formation, which is
the fans
which is in his control. I mean, I think we saw some sort of really positive elements despite the result against PSG, and I think Tottenham
they gave it a go. They against Arsenal didn't give it a go.
I mean, one home win all season, Tottenham against Burnley on the opening day, and then what? Was it 3 last year? With the Tottenham one at home?
3. I think the whole year they won 3 at home.
Yeah, so it's a tough watch at the moment. Yeah. Anyway, you can listen to it all unfold on talkSPORT tomorrow night. Arne Slot, a man under pressure, of course, after 9 defeats in 12 matches, including the midweek Champions League.
Shocker, wasn't it?
Shoeing by PSV. He was asked if he still believes he's getting his message across to his players.
After the 3-1, it's very difficult to get a message across to them when I'm at the sideline. But before the game and during halftime, I think the message comes across to them. If I see how we create our chances, it is a lot of the things we train and what is in the meeting. But unfortunately, it doesn't lead to goals, and that is difficult for them, for me, for our fans, for everyone. But that the message comes across is very clear to me if I see the way we generate our chances. And that is a lot from the work we do on the training pitch and during the meetings. So yeah, that's for me, that's obvious. But yeah, when we're 3-1 down, then it's difficult to get the message across. If you're standing not so far, but if you're not standing on the pitch.
What Stan was saying, wasn't it? Don't worry about that end. It's the other end.
Yeah,
it's the goals conceded. It's all right he's saying, "Oh, we're creating chances." Yeah, fine, but you're not stopping goals. You're conceding goals, 3-4 goals every game. So that's the problem. Stan was right.
And they go to West Ham, 2 wins and a draw. West Ham, they're in better nick than they were a few weeks ago. So it will not be an easy
West
game.
Ham will be right up for that. Absolutely. And then they've got Sunderland, who are difficult, and So yeah, it's a hard 7 days. But everybody's got a hard 7 days coming up. Really.
That's right. Well, let's hear from Mikel Arteta. He'll be cock-a-hoop at the moment ahead of Sunday's game against Chelsea at the Bridge. He expects a very challenging game for his team.
I don't know. Obviously, it's a big game. It's a big London derby. We're going to play a really, really good opponent. They are in really good form. And yeah, we know the challenge. We know the opportunity that we have as well on Sunday. So we are fully ready for it. Well, I think we are all there. And they are there because they fully deserve what they are, what they have done in the last few years. I think the squad that they assembled, the numbers that they have, the amount of quality, the manager and the coaching staff that they have. You know, it makes sense that what is happening there is very, very positive, and they deserve to be there.
Yeah, so where are you in the league now? You're second with, and how many points are you behind
6
them?
points. It would be 3 points if Chelsea could win. But, it's a dream, isn't it, really? It's difficult. But, look, you've got to play the game. We'll see what happens. It should be a good game. And we should sticking with Chelsea, aren't we now? Enzo Maresca was asked if they're now ready to win the title. I wish they wouldn't ask him that compared to last season.
He said no last season, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suspect he's still saying no. Isn't he? There we go.
Let's find out.
I think it's different compared to 1 year ago, and it's because we spent one more year together. We went through a moment where we can, learn from that moment. Then again, for me, it's very early. We are still, end of November, December, so it's very early, and it's important to be where we are now in March, April, and then we see. Yeah, but these players, because I can understand that always, we are talking about the last game, but I think these players in 16, 17, 18 months together, they show many times that they can beat teams.
Oh yeah, when they play well, they can beat anybody. That's for sure.
Yeah, it should be an entertaining game. We'll keep you in touch with that with Sam and the gang on Sunday afternoon. Manchester United head to Palace this Sunday at 12, and that's live and exclusive to talkSPORT. And Ruben Amorim, the Manchester United manager, was asked what they can do to improve their away form.
The same things that we need to do to show to the players why we lost control of Nottingham, why we lost control against Tottenham. And if you look at that games, we're there to win, and then sometimes a small detail can change everything. Then I felt during this year that when we play at home, the intensity was higher. And I felt in this game at home, the intensity was not at the same level. So I think it's something that we need to work on. So it's hard to point one thing why we are not winning away. There's a lot of issues. We are improving. Like I said, we have advantage in the away games. We need to know how to finish the games in order to win.
There we are, Ruben Amorim. That's midday, exclusively live on talkSPORT. So that is us. We're back with you on Monday to pick over the bones of all the football. Danny Miller, the actor of Emmerdale fame, big football fan, will be joining us in the studio for a chat amongst all the regular stuff, like Danny Kelly, etc. So until then, have a fantastic weekend and stick around now for Andy Goldstein with Danny Murphy alongside him on Drive.